Fred, Coral, Ladbrokes, Paddy Power, Unibet, and William Hill.
Good evening, welcome to RPGTV on this Saturday night. Hopefully continuing a big sporting day, whatever code you have enjoyed today if you're a Greyhound racing fan. Hopefully it just steps up a notch because we've got some cracking action. Open race action from Monmore. It's the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival in the company of DC, Dave Clark. You well? You've been busy today?
Yeah, on the barbecue. Yeah,
barbecue duties,
been
yeah.
Good. Yeah, hopefully can now serve up some winners, Hobbsy, tonight. Some brilliant racing. Every race worth £1,000 at Monmore. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It should be fantastic. Absolutely,
always a great festival there for the Lawrence Jones Memorial. Right, let's have a look at what we've got in store for you tonight's action. Hove, 12 races, 6:09 through to 9:28. They all go, we understand, at Hove. Monmore, 13 races, 6:17 through to 9:47. Got one non-runner to bring you in the seniors race. Final Symphonic doesn't go. Trap 5 in the 6:48, therefore, will be vacant. Let's have a look at the Trap Challenge prices for you combined. These are, we think, the best in the RPGTV village. Trap 1, 10 to 11. Trap 2, 100 to 30. Trap 3, 14 to 1. Trap 4, 7 to 1. And Trap 5, 18 to 1. And Trap 6, 13 to 2. Right, it's not just myself and Clarkey. We have our remote guest this evening. As I turn around, former racing manager Simon Harris. Good to see you, Simon. There's big racing at Monmore in the Midlands. There's big racing at Perry Bar, of course, in the Midlands. And I'm sure you're speaking from the Midlands, aren't you?
No, I'm very much south. I'm just outside Mitcham, so I'm not far from you. Evening, Hobbsy, evening, Dave. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's a smashing card at Monmore. Really looking forward to it.
Excellent. We managed to lure you down south, Simon, so always good to hear that.
Oh, yes.
What's your nap and next best?
Yeah, the nap is at Monmore in the 9:02. I've gone for one of the Kennel Sweepstakes finals. It's Aero Aaron in Trap 2 for Richie Taberner. It won its heat in the fastest time of 38:11. It's slightly crowded on that occasion as well, and it won comfortably in the end, and I can't see any reason why there'll be a reversal of form there. So that's Aero Aaron in the nap. And the next best is at Hove. Tried to find one, there was obviously a lot that were quite short tonight, but I was trying to find a bit of value, and I've gone, the next best is The Hill in the 7:56 in Trap 3 for Seamus Carhill. One run to date, and it showed a nice turn of early foot and was swallowed up halfway by a dog called Whistling Wife, who won in 29:78, which is reasonably quick. That was subsequently upgraded 2 grades and then won again. So that line behind that looks very good now. And I think you won't get the 8 to 1 it was on that occasion, but it must go close. And I'm with the red, I'm afraid, short in the Trap Challenge.
Understandably, I think plenty of good chances, I think, for the red jacket. Right, Clarkey, what do you got for us?
Well, I feel underdressed. My man's rocking a tie there. Best turned out for Simon already. Right, I'm going at Hove, purely on the price. I'm going to nap Touchdown Baby in the 6:43. Met Trap 1 last time. There wasn't a lot between them last week, and they're 13-8 versus 13-2. So I've gone Touchdown Baby at a big price to nap. Claire Keith Cloud was winner over 8 bends at Crayford, back over the 4 bends, but got a good make-up. I think can slot in behind the leader in Trap 1 in the 7:36 and pounce late. I'll take on Punk Rock Ivy in the 9:12, again in Trap 2. She's 19 weeks out of season. I think she's running well, but I don't think she wants to win. I think she's had a couple of chances and looked like she's kind of weighted one getting to the front. So one to take on at a short price there. I didn't really have much of a clue in the old Trap Challenge. It was probably between 1 and 2, and because 2's a slightly bigger price, I'll go with 2.
Fair enough. Lou for DC there. About myself, right, I'm going to go with Antigua Bigham. Things made slightly easier, I think, given that they can trap inside. Ran a cracking race behind Romeo Command last time. It's not a Romeo Command in that seniors race. Good to see a seniors race on the card at Monmore. And then Cachise, again, not disgraced behind From Post to Pillar and Droopy's Clue in the Stayers Classic at Monmore. And I fancy goes well for Richard Rees in the 8:03. Got Ballymac John up in trip to clear. Then just going to take one on that was a plenty short enough price. Now, I suppose I was long odds on to go with Lynx Maverick, wasn't I? 8s or 9s. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So it's Ballymac Archer running out of trap for the 9:32 at Monmore. There's plenty of pace to clear inside. Came from off the place last time behind. Well, Ballymac Taylor absolutely flew home, but again ran well in defeat. So Ballymac Archer probably wins, but plenty short enough. I'm going to take it on in that race. And there is a little bit of odds against, well, there was for trap 1. So maybe snaffle that. 6:09 at Hove will be our first race. Antigua Fifi and How Are You BB are vying for favouritism at Hove. Now, we understand, obviously, with the extreme temperatures around the country, I think the 33-degree cut-off point, of course, no racing thereafter. Not quite at that down on the south coast, but they are suggesting there's no parades for the first 4 races, and the presentations are in the shade anyway. So Hove have acted on that, so commendable decision there from Hove. Let's get some selections out there. Simon, let's start with you. Brighton, worst places to be, I think, on the coast there this evening. Who'd you go with in the first?
I've gone for trap 6, Sharp Star. A bit of a puzzling race. There are ifs and buts about a few of them here, but I've gone for the draw advantage. It won under similar circumstances last time, 30-42. It got a wide advantage then. I think there might be some trouble. 4 does seem to get in trouble, and it was knocked over from a poor draw before. So I'm not saying I'm relying on trouble, but I think it will happen. And so I've gone for the stripes of 6 on the outside, Sharp Star.
Okay, Sharp Star in trap 6 for Simon. Clarkey?
Yeah, 6 for me as well, Sharp Star. We won last time, gets the upgrade, but it's been running well in A9s. 1 has got a hell of a draw here. 2's not blessed with much early, will be moving middle. Certainly got leading claims, but I thought 6 could get first run around the outside, so I'm going to go with the Sharp Stars, obviously aided by the vacant box in 5, but I thought I'd leading claims, and I didn't think warranted being third in the betting. Okay,
Sharp Star for the boys, 7-2 currently trading at the moment. I'm going to take them both on with Antigua Fifi, looking to get trap 1 off to a flyer in the trap challenge. They're pretty much going to be going straight to traps. Keep your emails and your tweets coming in. Look, it's an incredible day of sport. Rugby World Cup, Euro Championships in terms of football qualifiers ongoing at the moment, and in terms of this great sport, it's the Perry Bar. Well, we've got the St Ledger starting, the Birmingham Cup starting. It's the second round of the Yarmouth Derby. And of course, we've got the Lawrence Jones Memorial as well. And across the water at Shelbourne Park, it's the second round of the Time Juvenile Derby. So plenty going on. So whatever your sport, whatever you're playing, let us know who you're with. You really fancy England have got a chance in the Rugby World Cup? You'd be the first person I've spoken to if that's the case. Simon, you all over that?
No, I don't think England certainly won't win the Rugby World Cup. They're actually woeful at the moment, and you can't see that being turned around for a while. But who knows? It's often sport, and you only have to get it right at the end, and they can just scrape through. And probably they'll be looking to improve, certainly.
I think you're absolutely right. And of course, understand we're going to be touching upon NFL as well with Chris Rivers of the RP. So we're across everything on Sporty Stuff TV. They are boxed away for the 6:09 at Hove. And we assume the legend on the South Coast, his name is Patrick Kelly with the call.
All set then for race number 1. Here we go. And they race away, and 4 bangs out in front. How Are You, Bebby? Leads them up ahead of 6, 1 on the inside in contention, and they're followed by 2 and 3. It's a clean run race. Trap 4 with with 6 close up on the outside. Sharp Star, 1 Every Chance, Antigua Fifi, the red jacket. 2 and 3 still at the back of the field, but Trap 4 stays well and holds pole position here. There's plenty of chances approaching the final turn. It's 4 from 1 and 6. They come off the final bend and up towards the line. It's Trap 4 staying every metre, not too much between first and last. 4 beats 1.
Success there for the Tony Taylor trained and part owned and Mr. Crockford owned How Are You BB. Cracking run from the boxes, scampered away Simon like a good thing in the end.
Yeah, I went for 6 and was anticipating some trouble, and I'm always pleased when I'm wrong in that respect. It was a lovely clean run race and everything had the chance to do its best, and 4 got the start that it needed, and he did cut across, but obviously it was a couple of lengths up, and it never looked like getting beat for me once it got its nose in front. 1 was always going to come on with a run, but at the 3/4 mark it was a lovely competitive race, and you still thought 4 would win from there, and it's not overdue because 4, as I said before, it does seem to find a lot of trouble, and it's a deserved win for it.
Excellent effort, wasn't it, from How Are You BB? Beating Trap 1 Antigua Fifi. Thanks, Simon. 4-1-2 is the finishing order for race 1 at Hove. That's 6:09. As soon as we get the SPs, we'll give it across to you. You can see the betting on screen for the 6:17 at Monmore. It's the first of a fantastic 13 race card at Monmore for the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival. I did say, I think in my promo, it was all open. Of course, there are graded finals, but they're top grade finals. And again, as Clarkie said, £1,000 to the winner. Right, let's get some stats out of the way for you. Hove stats the last 2 months. Hot Traps, 1 leading the way from 2 and 6. What about the hot dogs? Those in form, 736 Tolerance, 3 from 7, 838 Cozy's back, 3 from 8, and no nano name, something like that anyway, 628, 3 from 8, 37%, no nar, no name, that's it. Jan 1 to now 37%, pretty respectable. Let's have a look at the trainer stats for the South Coast. Hot trainers, Knight, Mapleston and Heath, so that's Derek, Stewart and Jason. Coldish, we're going to have to rewrite those, because Tony Taylor has got the first winner. Coldish, George Andreas, Tony Taylor and Seamus Cahill. Surely not. Coldish definitely for the Hove trainer. Stats. Let's give you the Monmore stats last 2 months. Hot Traps 5 and 2. Cutting a dash ahead of 3. Hot Dogs 9:18. Different speed has been that of late. 3 from 6. And Macaulay Storm, home alone, if you like. 3 from 6, 6:33, that Greyhound runs. And again, 37%, Jan 1 to now for your favourites. Pretty good if you're backing favourites blind. In terms of the trainer, Monmore trainer stats, just a small sample size because of the open races this evening. Last 2 months, hot trainers, never heard of him. Wallace, Soppet, Drayton, I don't know. Going great guns, no doubt. Coldish, Reese, Weatherall and Langford. Some startling names there, I think, hot and cold, and those Coldish trainers. Not for long, I would suggest. Right, 1 or 2 market movers to give to you, not especially busy. I mean, it's even horse racing today, some top stuff, both sides of the Irish Sea. Hove, 6:28, Track 2 infield whacker, 11 to 8 from 11 to 4. Claire Keith Tegan's also been backed in the 6:43, running out of Trap 1, now into 13 to 8. Taylor's Jaffa putting the squeeze on its rivals, perhaps 4 to 1 from 6, 7:18, Trap 5. That infield whacker should be 11 to 10, so even more marked support for infield whacker. And a Monmore Slapdash Tommy, 100 to 30 now from 5 to 1, runs in the 9:32, Trap 2. And get in touch. You must be having a punt somewhere today. Sportastic Super Saturday, and especially when it comes to the dogs, let us know where you're placing your wagers this evening. Plenty of chat about what's going on at Perry Bar, Yarmouth, Monmore, Shelbourne Park, etc. RPGTV at racingpost.com, and you know the Twitter details as well. Right, let's take you across to what looks a really good crowd at Monmore, availing themselves of the decent temperatures there. 6:17 will be our first of 13 races. As mentioned, wasn't too long ago before they were having that, Ladbrokes Gold Cup and the Summer Classic. It's now the time of the Lawrence Jones Memorial. A few of those that were in action then are back tonight. So hopefully some good things for you. You can see the betting on screen. Got odds on favourite Skywalker Tonali. And this is the one we're going to show you Dave. Trap 3 finishing second, and this was in a heat of the Peter Billingham competition that ran alongside the Gold Cup and the Summer Classic. Yeah, nice pace. Skywalker Tonali, who had been on a bit of a winning run prior to that, had won A4, A3, A2, and then a maiden at Sheffield. Come to Monmore, been beaten twice, but clearly of ability. And as we know, Ted Soppett always has a serious ground in his kennel, and this looks a nice type. I worry whether Away Jazz, who's very, very trappy, might worry Skywalker Tonali on the run to the turn. If they break level, I think 2 will just about clear at the bend and be away and gone, and that is what I think will happen. But I wouldn't want to have 6 to win 5 to find out, because Away Jazz is very, very trappy. Has made a really, really promising start to his career. He's an October 21 son of Ballymat Eski, and he's won A4 and A3 here at Monmore, and the name of the game with him is smash out, hold the row, and try and make all. So I don't think it's an ideal draw for Skywalker Tonali, but he might just be good enough to cut loose. Thanks, Dave. He's trained by Ted Soppett for Ray Patterson. Ted, one of the hot trainers on a small sample, admittedly, but nevertheless gets his fair share of open race winners and has done for many years, and good to see him represented here. He gets my vote, running out of trap 2, Skywalker Tonali, pretty much for what David said. But Simon, how do you see it?
Dave, I've read the race very similar, and I've gone for trap 1 Away Jazz, purely and simply on the draw in 1. If it gets the start, it can do. 2, without doubt, is classy. I just thought on the last run looked a little bit green. It got in sort of a position it shouldn't have done at the bend, then ended up checking off a little bit wide. And if it comes out and he's in front, it'll be all over. But I wouldn't be taking a chance, especially not the price. So I've gone for the one with the experience on the inside, Away Jazz. Going with Kim Billingham's Greyhound, Away Jazz, having just, I think, a 6th start this evening, a local trained greyhound. Right, they looked as if they're boxed away. Let's go to Monmore for the 6:17.
Here on the approach, race 1 this evening, the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival 480 puppy. And away, and racing, slow start from 6, good start from 5, 3 and 1, then 2 and 4, 6 detached at the back. Away Jazz leads them into the first bend and heads into the back straight, a length or so in front of Always Wishing. Skywalker Tonali is back in 3rd, and then on the inside races, Linnea's Lass from No Duff Sahara, well down the far side, still Away Jazz being taken on now by Always Wishing. They're 3 lengths clear of the improving No Duff Sahara in 3rd off the last bend, and the 3 leaders grouping up as they go towards the line, bursting through in the centre. It could just be No Duff Sahara from on the inside, Away Jazz, and Always Wishing. Good finish to the first.
Fantastic finish to race 1 at Monmore, the 480 puppy. It was a desperate finish between trap 1 Away Jazz and No Duff Sahara. Breaking not too well was trap 6 Easy Molly Day, but Away Jazz got that run of the race inside, and the favourite was already under pressure. Yeah, I mean, if you'd played Away Jazz, you kind of would have thought, well, job done here, because the key might have been just holding Skywalker Tonali on the run to the turn, who's run poor. The favourite, Skywalker Tonali, I don't know whether there's something that's gone amiss there, but just went backwards, and certainly didn't look like the promising type that had been whizzing around here previously. And yeah, Free had put the top under pressure, and they might have just set it up for No Duff Sahara there, Simon, to swoop late to score. Yeah, I'd sort of had a second bite at the cherry, because I thought 3 was going to beat Away Jazz without doubt, and then we kicked on again, and the 5's nipped through the middle, and I think has got it. But you see the benefit of the track knowledge there for the front 3 have all got plenty of experience around Monmore, and that does make a difference sometimes. You might not be the best overall, but it's just track knowledge. Still waiting for that result. Thanks, Simon. Let's have a look at the Flying 4 races tonight, starting with a 707, where we've got tied off White into, 3-1 into 11-4. Skywalker Pele, hoping to get some sort of compensation for Ted. He's got the runner running out of trap 5, and I think the one we're going to show you is Skywalker Pele. Winning the Peter Billingham final last week, or a couple of weeks back now, for Ted and Ray Patterson, running out of trap 6 and doing it nicely, Dave.
Yeah, it looks a really, really nice type. I mean, wasn't particularly flashy on the run to the corner, but I just thought did it really, really well. Cut loose and claimed a notable scalp last time. 28-12 on the board, beating Crafty Chavou 3 1/4 lengths, who I think's only been beaten twice on these shores anyway. So really, really nice type. Switching to 5 would be a massive negative in my opinion, and certainly has leading claims, but that's enough for me to oppose Skywalker Pele, because I think 5's a horrible box to break from around Monmore.
Who are you with?
I think 6 is interesting, but 1's probably got a bit of class about him, just to nip round the inside here. Glengyle has a proper middle who will sort of trap and move away from the inside. Be interesting to see how New in Larkin goes at a massive price. I thought was maybe one for fullcast and tricast back, as if the market speaks in favour. But I'm going with New in Sid, brilliant draw.
Okay, New in Sid for Dave. I'm going to go with Tyler White, running out of trap 6. Good win at Sheffield, landing favouritism last time. Quick selection, Simon?
Tyler White, I think 5. He was lucky to get clear at the first bend last time. Might not happen again. Okay,
trap 6 then for 2 of us, and DC with 1. Let's have a look at the stayers. The 803, where Kachis dominates the betting ahead of Ballymac John up in trip. Let's show you a semi-final of the Sussex Cup where Kachis is concerned. In fact, it was the Ladbroke Summer Stayers Classic semi-final, of course, finishing 3rd in the final, but winning on this occasion, Dave.
Yeah, this is obviously over course and distance. A dog who's, I think, perfect for the 6:30 at Monmore. He's quite trappy, Kachis, and he'll be looking to bang out, take that rail away from Ballymac John. And that is your 11-8 factored in there, because if he does out trap 1, he'll boss the inside, and that will be that. But Willie, if it was a 4-bend race, you'd be like, well, I don't think 2's going to clear 1. So just because it's a 6:30 doesn't mean that Kachis is going to out trap Ballymac John. I'm going to put up Oakfield Magic in that race, maybe a Savour and Authentic Lass, and hope that the inside duo tangle early on and the race cuts up.
Okay, trap 6 at a price for Dave there, Oakfield Magic. I'm going next best trap 2. Hopefully traps like he did during the Derby, Simon. But how do you see this race?
Yeah, he seems to be getting, as he gets older, his trapping gets better. I'm with Kachis. It was a slightly different race when the original runner was in trap 3. The reserve's gone in is a big bonus for Kachis. I'm not sure what Ballymac John will do going over this distance. That's a waiting game, so a safe bet to go with Kachis.
Yeah, that was Brinkley's Magic who came out, but Kachis then for Simon. Let's have a look at the sprinters, the 9:18. This looks a great matchup, doesn't it, between Gougain Jet and Dove Gaster. Mark Wallace and Tom Hilbram, respectively. Gougain Jet has certainly the edge when it comes to the betting there. Hope's Night has to be respected, and we're going to show you Gougain Jet. July the 29th. This was his last winning form. He's got a fantastic record at Monmore and looked pretty good here, Dave.
Yeah, 28 wins from 41 starts, and I think he's won more races at Monmore than any other track. Gougain Jet, really, really good draw, because Racket Hall or Cat will move inside at 3 as well, and it looks a foot race to the corner. 1 shouldn't be overlooked if they all turn up at their best 4 wins, but looks plenty short enough at 8 to 15. It's not an odds-on poke I'd be smashing into, because I really rate 5, and as I say, one's open to any amount of improvement as well. Maybe if you're playing little multiples or whatever, you stick Gougain Jet in, because he should win, but he wouldn't be for me at that sort of price.
Okay, Simon, quick thoughts?
Yeah, it's very much the same. Gougain Jet for me. I thought actually the presence in 5 might give us half a chance of a reasonable price with Gougain Jet, but as you can see, it's not happening. It's on the day, but it's class and it loves Monmore, so I'm Gougain Jet for me.
Yeah, cracking sprint there at 9:18. I can tell you that No Duff Sahara did win 5-1-3. There's a presentation, well done, and there's a cracking picture of Lawrence there, former trainer, of course. No Duff Racing, the successful owners of No Duff Sahara, Chris Faraday. Delighted trainer, I'm sure, to kick off such a gala meeting with the victory there, albeit only just to beat the likes of Away Jazz. I think that's Chris there. I think, yeah, you can see him in the mix. So well done to all concerned. 5-1-3, 9-4, 9-2, 6-1, 15-20 and 54-54 for your TriCast and forecast there for won the first at Hove. Monmore, it was trap 5. Let's take you across to Hove. Reminder that there will be no parades as such, or if they are, they're going to be very, very short. In fact, they're probably going to go straight across to the sprint start. This is a 285 metre D1 top grade affair. Infield whacker, I think, was Greyhound who came in for a little bit of support early doors to strike for Seamus Cahill. Second time up. Do you fancy he does as we show you this, Dave?
2 looks a good thing here, I thought. Inside duo, likely to have it between them. I thought 6 would be fab here, actually, to be fair. I think there was a little bit of money around for 2 on the early prices.
This is Lacadian.
Yeah, you can see Lacadian in 1, and there's a few others in here. Infield whacker in 2, but I think is capable of better. Troll 1650, 1666 qualifying in are shifting, and yeah, I think infield whacker would be too good for these. Pop out and make all.
Excellent. Okay, Simon, do you agree, or are you going elsewhere?
Yeah, I am going elsewhere. I was on the show when these 3 ran together on the 31st in the same 31st of August. They were in the same traps, and I think it was a maiden sprint open, which basically was a graded race, and it was a puzzle about what 2 would do infield whacker. And you saw in the VT, it ran very well. What happened? It's got as officially marked as stumbled. I think the dog behind it, the one, might have just clipped the back of it. But 1 was a lucky winner on that occasion, and 2 looked all over the winner. I'm just going on that occasion. I went for 6, and I'm going to go for no nano name again, just because I think there might be a little bit of trouble between 1 and 2 going to the bend. I'd be very much inclined, because what 2's quite short, and that's preventative. Even if I did fancy it, I'd probably want to do a 1-2-6. Always trio, because I think there might be a decent price there amongst those 3.
Okay, no name in trap 6 for Derek Knight. Good luck, Patrick Kelly, with your commentary for this 6:28 at Hove. Betting on the screen for the 6:33 at Monmore. So we'll be straight across to the Wolverhampton venue after this. We've got sprint action there once again. It's 264 metres. Noxia favourite there for Gwyneth Rees. But here at Hove, the loading process is just about to get underway. Infield whacker into even money. Darren Bird's been in touch on Twitter. He says, guys, you covering the full meeting at Monmore? Well, as far as I know, we are. And that includes a lucky last. And you know, in many ways, saving the best for last at Monmore, albeit not a great price, Lynx Maverick, but he's a real star performer. Ladbrokes Gold Cup winner, 3rd Cat 1 for Tom Hilbron's Greyhound in that brilliant performance a couple of weeks back. Great to see him back at Monmore tonight. He'd be expected to do the business from Track 1, and we'll be showing you that, Darren Bird. So rest easy. Yes, we are at Monmore throughout the night, but our next race is at Hove. Let's go to Patrick Kelly. Good luck with 6, PK.
Here we go, race number 2, 285 metres, and they break away. Slow start for infield whacker on the run to the first bend. Love Faden on the inside with trap 5, Night Watchman, and trap 1 had to check there. Could be a shock result here. So the outside of the 5, Night Watchman here, is clear of the chasing group. It's trap 5 here. They closed late on, but trap 5 is the winner, Night Watchman.
Night Watchman running out of trap 5 for Carl Gardner, and the old school tie syndicate has landed the spoils here, Simon. Bit of a shock, I'd have to say, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we sort of didn't give it any credit. It won last time out at a big price, and I thought it couldn't do it again. But often, as we say in the sprint, it's all about getting out, and if you're out in front, and there was very little trouble. 1 got slightly crossed by the 5, which caused the ricochet effect of 2, but I think once 5 was ahead of any of them, it was game over then, and we ignored it at our peril because there was a winning line of form. So good run from Night Watchman.
It was. Looks as if 5 has beaten 2. 6 was on the premises as well. Just to say, in that first race at Hove, won by Trap 4, How Are You BB? At 7-4 it returned. The second Antigua Fifi was 2-1, 607 for your forecast. 1685 confirmed there the win for Trap 5. It's an across the card orange jacket double. Right, 6:33. The Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival continues. Sprint action here. Simon, we're going to bring you in for this show of VT. Knockzeer's the greyhound in question, running out of Trap 5 and finishing second. This was on August the 26th, finishing behind Lockhill Flash, only beaten a length, running out of the orange jacket.
Yeah, Lockhill Flash, I think, was a big price. I mean, it's got out and done the best it could do, but again, something's in front of it, and often, you know, clear. And again, you see they're very much a clear run race, and 2 was away and gone. But a decent run. I am opposing 5. I've gone for the runner in 1, Macaulay Storm, was well drawn. It is a prolific winner round Monmore in sprints. It's very reliable at the traps. Trap 4, 2 good trials at Monmore, ran well August the 22nd, and the 26th finishing second. Trap 5, always got to watch out for him. He's a bit iffy, but I am opposing the favourite with Trap 1, Macaulay Storm.
Okay, one of our hot dogs earlier was Macaulay Storm, and popular in the market falls into 3. Hope Sharky for me. Simon's with the red DC, I'm with the blue. Who are you with?
Yeah, I'm with 2 as well. I thought it was quite impressive at Romford last time. Doesn't look a natural sprinter, but 15.26 on the board in qualifying tells you that he can off shift a bit. 2 wins, 2 seconds from 5 starts. He should get a clear run to the turn here, because the real machines are a proper middle. Certainly won't be coming in even at the corner. So I thought there'd be plenty of racing room. I've got to be honest, I don't know much about Gwyneth Rees. Any takers? The Sheffield trainer. 6-4 jolly. 4 wins, 4 seconds.
Doesn't have too many open races,
starts,
but nevertheless, I mean,
long
standing at Sheffield. Gwyneth, so certainly has done her time in many ways. So good to see her on the road as such, and making that trip to Monmore with Knockzeer. We wish her all the best there. Bitch who certainly.
I mean, the clock doesn't scream that this bit should be 6-4. You know, they look much of a muchness, really. They're all sort of 15.40 odd. 15.35. I thought the 3 was an interesting runner, very, very lightly raced. Run okay in a D1 last time, and obviously could be open to any amount of improvement. I thought 4 looked really short.
Okay, Trap 2 then for Dave, but the favourite at the moment is Knockzeer, running out of Trap 4. Keep your notes coming in. We got emails kicked in yet, DC?
We've got a YouTube comment from Marco 4863, loving the stream, lads, who's watching. Got a nice little crew watching tonight on there. Keith Montague has emailed saying, great mixed card at Monmore, good graded at Hove tonight. Distant Oscars the nap. And he fancied 6 in the last race at Hove as well. Monmore nap, Ballymac Archer and Tyloff White, both for the Drapers. Trap challenge between 1 and 6. 6 at a price though, even though a few vacants, which is always something you should look out for in the old trap challenge. Donald Barron, my nap is Aero Aaron in the 902. We may complain about not enough dogs, but I thought it was lovely to hear Romford put a race on for Richard's mum, and Miki done the commentary. Just shows we've got some lovely people in this fantastic game.
Yep, that's right. Margaret's funeral was Thursday, and had a race for her at Romford, which was touching, I have to say. Right, flag has been waved. Let's go to Mark Slater.
Bunny on the approach, race 2 this evening. This is the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival 264. Off racing and good starts from 2, 4, 3, from 1, 5 and 6 into the bend, and it's Hope Sharkey on the inside of Knockzeer. Knockzeer though takes over from Hope Sharkey with Winterfield Guy next, then follows Montine Mason at the back, Macaulay Storm and the Real Machine, but going for the line it's Knockzeer who got the better of it close home, beating Winterfield Guy and Hope Sharkey in third, 4-5-2.
Excellent effort from the Gwyneth Rees train Knockzeer, owned by Mrs. Hines and Mr. Mulroney. And this was a good effort. Simon showed good pace into the first bend to justify favouritism.
Yeah, and then credit the trainer bothered to come back again for another trial, and it takes a effort of doing it. And the 1 and 3 were slightly in trouble going round the bends, but in general it was a clear run race, and 5 was running on as it does in sprints, but out and gone and done the business. Excellent effort, wasn't it, from Trap 4? Hopefully you played that one. It looks as if it was a 4-5-2 finish for the 6:33. We'll wrap up the SPs after a break.
I can look at 12 horses and the form all at once. Come on. The app is my paddock.
Once the race starts, we don't bother with cheers in our house.
When the race is on, I try to remain calm.
If it's possible to love a four-legged beast and a wee tiny man sitting on top of it, then I love you!
Boost your racing odds at ladbrokes.com.
Betfred presents Check out our exclusive offers every day. Play in-store and online with Betfred.
The final start of these championships.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary.
That's not bad at all.
We believe every sport should be epic.
Berlin.
So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Catch the best thoroughbred racing from South Africa alongside 15 live greyhound races at 11 o'clock every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday morning, live here on Sporty Stuff TV.
Welcome back to RPGTV on this Saturday evening. Let's confirm the result. The favourite obliging 7-4 favourite was Knock Zia, beating Trap 5 at 10-1. That was Winterfield Guy. Trap 2 was third. It was a 4-5-2 finish, 20.59 and £48 and 10 pence. And the presentation underway. Presentations for all this evening's races as very much part of the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival annual event at Monmore, remembering the popular former trainer. Right, the 9:32 is the 684 event, that longer run to the bend for those 6 benders. We're going to show you Ballymac Archer Dave running out of Trap 5, and this was a good race because we should also be looking out for Ballymac Taylor as well, who runs tonight in the St Ledger.
Yeah, this is a really nice dog, Ballymac Archer. He's probably at some point going to do some ridiculous run. He's not trappy, and he wouldn't get much further than this, but he's got all sorts of pace. And if he were to come away, which he may tonight, I thought switch away from Sheffield back and then back into Trap 4 rather than an outside box might just help him out the boxes tonight. And Untold Rupee's a talented sort, but off a level break, you'd fancy Ballymac Archer leading that one down, which could be the key to the race. But yeah, he's got all sorts of pace. He's going to be my pick, but you're probably right. I think you've made him your lay. You're probably right to take him on at odds on because he might struggle to lead down 1 and 2.
Okay, yeah, plenty short enough in the market, but plenty of support, Simon, for Ballymac Archer. Are you with or against?
I'm very much supporting him. Good run at Sheffield last time. You saw there. He in that VT, he can sort of do it both ends, and we probably haven't seen the real dog yet. And as Dave said, the longer run to the bend will help him. The danger for me possibly is Slapdash Tom into decent sort, but being off probably needs the run. So I'm very much with Ballymac Archer.
And has been backed as well. Bit of support for Nathan Hunt's Greyhound running out of trap 2. You can see the betting on screen for our 6:43, which will be our next race at Hove. It's the BGOA, the Brighton Greyhound Owners Association, second quarter awards sponsored race. So we've got trophy presentations everywhere this evening. And Touchdown Baby, DC, is your nap at a price?
Yeah, I'm well happy with the price. I was never going to be the 13-2 that she was this morning. One's got leading claims here. 1 and 3 met last time. And there wasn't a lot between them. I mean, 1 built up a head of steam into the third turn and got tangled up, and the race slowed up. And, you know, 1 might just get off the front and make all here, but 3 does have a fast start in her, and if she was to go around in a pitch, she'd stay out this trip really, really well. I just thought would go well at a big price here. You wouldn't want to be laying 5-1, 9-2 about Touchdown Baby. I know that much, because with any sort of run, she's going to be there or thereabouts. So I thought, why not go nap?
Okay, Touchdown Baby in trap 3 for a busy Belinda Green kennel, and Touchdown Racing represented at Perry Bar tonight, not just in the St Ledger, but it's also the Birmingham Cup as well. Premier Greyhound Racing St Ledger and the M Lamb Construction Birmingham Cup to give their full titles. Right, so a bit of value from DC for his nap, and 5's into 4-1. Purposes of the Nats Challenge, he gets that 5-1. Simon, do you think he's on the right road?
I'm with Red, with Claire Keith Teagan. Okay. I thought it was a great run last time. Ex-season, 26th of May, so we're talking it's over 16 weeks out of season. So if it's going to start to run, it's going to start to run well. It had 4 runs prior to season without winning, but was running well. I think its future probably lies over further. But I think, as Dave said, it got in trouble at the third bend. It was going for a gap on the inside, and suddenly it found itself on the outside of the eventual winner, who was in trap 5, which must have lost it a fair amount of time. Trap 3 will be running on, but needs further for me, so I'm very much with trap 1, Claire Keith Teagan.
Yeah, I have to say I'm going to join you. An ex-season bitch, Claire Keith Teagan, progressive. That was a good comeback run. Looking to go 1 better here, making the market for Dave's selection, so I'm not going to be too perturbed about that. Claire Keith Teagan has every chance on best form. Keep your notes coming in. Obviously, you've had a look at Perry Bar and some of the anti-post elections there. Do you fancy sort of outright for the Ledger? Are you
I really like.
Yet,
I'm a big fan of Eze.
In the Birmingham Cup,
to be overlooked, and I thought the big prices about Eze for the Birmingham Cup were where the value was at. It's a cracking St Ledger. Heat 1 is about to go off with Ballymac Katie, and it's an interesting, you know, the 7-10 is a 6 bend, but long run to the turn there's no place to hide. You know, you've got to stay as well. So yeah, it'll make fascinating viewing.
Okay. Going behind the boxes for the 6:43. Quick email.
This one's from Jim Bob from Windus. My Napa next best are exactly the same as Hobbs's tonight. Good racing, good guys.
Great
Have
mind.
a good evening.
Thank you. Who was that from?
It's killed me now. Jim Bob.
Jim Bob, good luck.
In Widnes.
Good luck, Jim Bob. I like your star right there, hanging over the fence there at Hove, trying to strain to get a view, bird's eye view. Fantastic track to watch Greyhound Racing. 6:43 at Hove. Flag about to be waved. A6 the grey. Good luck with DC with his nap. Myself and Simon with the red. Let's go to Patrick.
This is race number 3. And they race away then on the run to the first corner. 4 goes up well. We've won the inside. Then comes 6, 5, 2 and 3. Ballymac Pierre's got first run here over Claire Keith Teagan in hot pursuit. They pull clear of Mobo Bosch, the blue jacket, running down to the third bend as they do so. Ballymac Pierre with trap 1 on the inside, close enough, if good enough, but trap 4 just slamming the door there to affect the chance of trap 1. They run the home turn here. It's Ballymac Pierre who's staying on really strongly and will not be denied. 4 beats 1.
Ballymac Pierre does the business for that man, Tony Taylor, a second winner for him. But we're going to go straight across to Monmore. There's 30:33 unofficial time there. But let's go across to Monmore. We're going to count down to the 6:48. Another festival race there. We'll show you a replay of that third race at Hove in due course. We've got a 5-runner affair now because the original final Symphonic Trap 5 was an earlier non-runner. Antigua Biggan's the one we're going to show you, Dave. A grand servant now of, well, actually, it's always been a Mark Wallace, of course, Mark Wallace Greyhounds Racing Club, and never runs a bad race. Ran a great race behind Romeo Command last time, and this is it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a class act over a stiff 4 bends and 6 bend trip, and I can't have him here at this sort of price because, you know, he is classy, but it all might just happen a little bit too quick for him. You know, across the field could potentially lead him down. You'd fancy Antigua Biggan to fetch that one in, but he could potentially be last going into the corner here, Antigua Biggan. And at 4 to 6, I'll be against him. I've always been a fan of maximum security. 62 races, 22 wins in 19 seconds. April 19, I think there's been problems sort of along the way, but really classy over 4 and 6 bends. But the dog I'm going to put up, which is probably a bit crazy, is Ballymac Odie, who's 16 to 1. Across the field will move inside, and I'm not sure maximum security will lead up Antigua Socks. I just thought there could be a pile up at the bend here, and if 4 caught a flyer, did a 28.50 off the front with trouble in behind, it might just be enough. I mean, you don't have to have a lot on it at that sort of price. I'm sure it's going to be an astronomical price, 26 on Betfair. I thought for pennies, you know, you want to chuck a fiver at something, 4 could bang out here, and it might just all happen in behind.
Okay, Ballymac Odie then at a big price. I'm Antigua Biggan all day. It's probably helped by the fact that 5 is a vacant trap. There's plenty of pace inside. Antigua Socks, maximum security across the field, take Dave's points. Something could get away, admittedly, but I think any sort of run and Antigua Biggan might just be too good in this seniors race. Suffice to say, well done, Monmore, for putting on a seniors race. Not too many greyhound tracks these days, but the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival includes a 480 seniors. Simon, how do you see this?
Yeah, very much with trap 6, Antigua Biggan. Benefited now. I thought he was always no pace, but was always likely to beat trap 5 early doors. Well, there's no trap 5, so that's even a better situation. It's ultra consistent. It never runs a bad race. 2, I think, again, great respect to 2, as he's always running well, and as you saw, its form there. It's recently won a dual distance competition at Sheffield. Probably this is just a bit too short for it, so I am with trap 6, Antigua Biggan.
Okay, Simon, with the 6, just to say, Jake Whalen Forest still in the Premier League, don't I know it. Good evening, guys. My nap is trap 2, maximum security in the 648 at Monmore. Jake, good luck and every chance from the blue jacket. 5 to 2, Nigel Saunders' greyhound, I think, if memory serves me, there's been a couple of 3 steps finals in the maximum security. So a good consistent performer, grand servant, as all of these have been. Antigua Socks, maximum security across the field, Ballymac Odie and Antigua Biggan. Any amount of wins between them. I'm not going to top them up, but there's a huge amount.
That's the one dog I don't think Antigua Biggan would back run here. If he gets a run, he'll pick up 1, he'll pick up 3, he'll pick up 4, but he wouldn't want to be giving too much of a start to maximum security.
Yeah, absolutely fair point.
You might have made at least 1 3 steps final, definitely.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're behind the boxes. Won't be too long before we are racing there for this 648. Keep your notes coming in. Good luck to Jake and especially Jim Bob as well. Right, behind the boxes. In fact, loading process pretty much complete. Let's go to Mark Slater.
Here on the approach for race 3, this is the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival 480 Seniors. And away, and they're racing into the first bend. 1, 3, 4 crowding ahead of 2. 6 on the outside made a slow start into the turn. They're very tightly grouped, and it's 2 Maximum Security who emerged in front from Antigua Biggin in second, in third across the field, back and forth Antigua Sox, and then Ballymac Odie single file into the second last bend, still with the lead. Maximum Security being taken on now by Antigua Biggin. There's 3 parts of a length between them. They'll fight out the finish. Antigua Biggin putting in a strong run the near side. May have just got there. It's very tight with Maximum Security in second. Possibly we'll wait on the judge, and back in third Antigua Sox.
Well, the seniors have served up an absolute treat here. I'll never quite work out how Maximum Security got to the front, but as you said, if the strong dog got to the front, it could be race on, and Dave, it was.
Yeah, I think 6 has won, and I reckon the only time he's been in front of 2 was on the line, because after the line, 2 went back in front, which is incredible, really. But I think he's produced the run at just the right time, and it just had that sort of feel of a race where, although there was only 5 runners, something had to give at the corner, and how we got round the outside, I don't know, Simon.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows 2 absolutely fully experienced runners there. 6 has run an absolute blinder at that first bend. Many a dog would have gone over or just bottled it, but he's and your words were ringing in my ears. If he won't come from behind trap 2, I think he has, and as you say, the only time he's led it is on the line.
Great effort. I think on the evidence of that, you can suffice to say that 27 wins now from 76 starts. The big one is an absolute star. Well done to Mark Wallace, but also well done to Nigel Saunders' Maximum Security as well. We've got the Hove replay to show you now. This was race 3. No joy for trap 3. Just stumbled out the boxes, touchdown, baby. In the end, wasn't beaten that far, Dave.
No, yeah, the prices were just wrong, really. To be 13-8 and 13-2 and even 11-8 and 5-1 on the show, you mean you'd back for 3 all day, every day. But it was 4 who cut loose, and Ballymac Pierre for Tony Taylor, who's I don't think's a cold trainer anymore. His dogs are running well tonight, and Claire Keith Teagan just snatched up at that 3rd turn. Free's done a hell of a lot of running, just as she did last week for Belinda Green and the Touchdown Racing Syndicate, but a good winner off the front there. You know, good value for that, because Claire Keith Teagan is a nice type with a bright future and has had every chance in behind for me.
And there's the result. Thanks, Dave. 7-2 trap 4 return. Ballymac Pierre beat trap 1 even money. Trap 3 was third, 9-2, 9.50 and 23.09. That earlier race, Night Watch Man, returned at 14-1, beat the even money infield whacker in trap 2, 41-21. Let's give you the Monmore result as well from the 6.48, 4-6 favourite. He returned in the end. Trap 2 was second at 3-1. It was a 6-2 finish. Time for a break.
The William Hill 5. Top tips for positive play. Don't chase losses.
What are you doing?
Know your limits. Get support if you need it. Take a break. Keep it fun. Find our safer gambling tools online or in shop.
And here's today's favourite, number 4, First to Feel Rain. And you can see why, Gina.
He hasn't got the most attractive head, but he has an impressive turn of foot for his size.
He must be 20 hands at least. He has moved stables a lot.
Just loves the big occasion.
Featurette stud, Gina?
Not sure, Matt. Unlikely to be wanted for breeding. Worthy favourite, Matt?
Definitely the favourite, Gina.
Don't feel like a punter, feel like a favourite with great offers on the Paddy Power app.
Want betting on the horses to be anything but flat? With an app that impresses every time out. You're on. Want to watch live streaming of races in the UK, Ireland and around the globe? And get a chance to win even bigger with 3 Uniboosts every day on any horses you want. Unibet. You're on.
Welcome back to Sporty Stuff TV, and there's the big one. I'm not talking about Sid, of course. I'm talking about Antigua big one. And there is the top man, Sid Hewitt there. He'll be delighted. I think it's one of his favourite greyhounds in the kennel. And Mark Wallace, and well done, has won the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival 480 seniors. And as mentioned, he's a real star of Imperial Kennels. Well done to all concerned. There's another happy hammer, Sid. Right, the 6:58 at Hove be our next race. Got a 5-runner affair. I think we had a tip, Dave, from Distant Oscar, wasn't it?
Yep.
A couple of emails ago. Runs out of trap 5 here. This is the BGOA Dog of the Quarter Punk Rock Warrior. So there'll be no doubt a presentation afterwards. Are you with the 5, Dave, or are you looking elsewhere?
I liked one up the inside here. Log Hill Sean for Nora McKellistrom. Far better than the run back. It's been off the card. 16.79 requalified back in. Good draw as well. I mean, 2 could be absolute anything. I'm interested to see if there's any money for 2. But yeah, I like the experienced runner in 1 here who's been over 2 bends, 4 bends, 6 bends, but a 16.60 on the rail might be enough here. So at the prices, I'm going to go with trap 1.
Yeah, Nora Max Greyhound, Lockhill Sean, versatile sort for Dave. Simon?
I thought it was quite a competitive race, to be honest, and surprised to see such a short price favourite in 5. I've actually gone for the new runner in trap 2, although it's well on the drift now, Kelvin's Hat. It's well bred, nice pup, Jan 22. It's had 3 trials, winning all of them, 3 out of 3. You know, that's what you like to see, is greyhounds winning trials. 16.73, it won't need to improve much on that to figure. For me, I think trap 1 is not really a sprinter. I think it's more suited 500 metres. Even 6.95 is its better distance. And I think coming back from a layoff, I think it will give 2. If 2 can get a reasonable start, it will get a good run with 1 inside it. Trap 5's consistent, but just doesn't seem to win races. So I'm going to have a bit of a chance with the newcomer, Kelvin's Hat, in 2.
Kelvin's Hat running out of trap 2 then for our guest tonight, our remote guest, Simon Harris, former racing manager. I'm going to go with trap 5, Distant Oscar. Simon, it's been how long ago were you last a racing manager?
I left Coventry. Well, actually, I know, to put things into perspective, people always associate me with Wimbledon. I actually left Wimbledon 20 years ago, this coming November.
Oh, wow.
And then spent 5 years and left Coventry in 2008. I went up and helped sort of just ad hoc with Mick Smith when Hull was running. So my actual last, and you know what these smaller tracks are like, it's every man jack to do every job going. And the last thing I ever did on a greyhound track was do the pick-up at Hull on a Saturday night, because nobody turned in to do it. So, you know, I was always somebody who'd get his hands dirty and were prepared to do what's necessary to get a meeting on. So, yeah, my last actual effort at ground track was doing the pick-up at Hull.
I was just sort of thinking that in terms of when you were a racing manager, would have been maybe it was the GBGB then. If not, it was the BGRB, wasn't it? But were there directives in terms of sort of if temperatures got quite extreme? Do you ever remember that? There probably wasn't, was there? I don't remember them.
No, not at all. And often, you know, we've talked about it before, and you know, it just. I mean, I don't think the weather actually was as hot then. We are all aware of global warming and the temperatures. We do seem to get these ridiculously humid weather, as it has been the last few days in London, particularly. And last year we had in August when it was in 40s. We certainly didn't get that, but there was never ever a thought of cancelling the meeting because it was hot or warm. And certainly in my latter part at Wimbledon, we had some afternoon bags meetings. Well, when that sun was in its highest over that Mick the Miller stand, it was unbearably hot. We were probably more at danger in the steward's box because you could watch the race and couldn't stay in there any longer than other, and we had to go outside because it was that hot. But no, we didn't, and I don't think anything was ever put at risk though.
No, that's right. No, it was just something that occurred to me. But anyway, right, thanks Simon. 6:58 at Hove. Let's go to Patrick.
Here goes race 4, 285 metres, and they break away. 5 well away with 3 rushing up. 2's got a good pitch on the inside. and Kelvin Tatti makes the bend in front. Trouble the back of the field, 5 and 3 sharing second and third, but it's Kelvin Tat in command here for Seamus, and up towards line, a clear-cut winner, a good winner, and I'm sure she'll win again. Kelvin Tat.
Well, Simon, I think we've got to go straight to you. You went with the newcomer Kelvin's Hat, winning for Mr. Pattenden and Mrs. Teresa Cahill, trained by Seamus, making debut, a successful one.
Yeah, I mean, it did what I hoped it would do. The crucial thing was, for me, was the 3 winning trials. You know, that often you see dogs on the card and they've had a solo and 2 trials and they haven't won a trial. But, you know, to win, and I think it was some reasonable dogs it was in with. But, I mean, that looks very mature for me. And, I mean, Seamus is cute. He knows how to bring a dog on, and he will, you know, this might not even be a sprinter in years to come, but, you know, he'll know how to start a pop off like that and get the best out of it. And it's a brilliant run. And as Pat said in commentary, it's definitely going to be one to follow, because there weren't mugs behind it.
Exactly. Well done. Kelvin's Hat does the business on debut, and there is a time 16.65, beating Distant Oscar and Lockhill Sean. It was a 2.51 finish there. Right, the 7.07 betting at Monmore. We've got some emails there, Dave?
Yeah, got one from top man Melroy Fernandez. Evening all. Bad planning on my part, offering to drop off and pick up a friend's family at Bristol Airport on the consecutive Saturdays. Meaning missing the great action tonight. I'm gutted to be missing it, but thank God for RPGTV. Seeing the name Final Symphonic on the opening credits on tonight's show reminds me of one dog, Charlie Lister's son of Premier Fantasy. Won plenty of silverware, the Yarmouth Derby, the Birmingham Cup, the Juvenile, to name a few. But in the big one, 2009, I can remember the commentary going ballistic as 25-1 outsider kind of really picked up Fierce Symphonic on the line. Gutted was not the word. For that night, I can tell you. Hope all dogs running all over the land come home safe and sound. Good luck to all. Having a punt from Mel in Oxford.
Great days, and that was quite extraordinary at
and then the owners of the
Wimbledon.
first 2 in that derby teamed up to win a couple of derbies themselves.
They did, with Sidaz Jack talking about Darren Johnson and Simon Wooder. Were you there for that one, Simon?
No. Darren Johnson was a regular Wimbledon owner, and he had dogs with Ray Peacock for many years, and he's one of those blokes that actually, you know, you didn't begrudge him winning the derby, because he was a really nice bloke and put a lot of the money in. I think he raised a lot of money for retired greyhounds at some stage as well.
He did, of course, and you did say 20 years ago. What was the last derby you did?
Well, unfortunately, it was Droopy's Hewitt was the on the night winner, and
right.
Farlow Verdict was the eventual winner, and we had a bad year because there was another disqualified dog in the St. Leger, so I sort of went out from Wimbledon with a bit of a bang. We ended up with more stewards' inquiries and court cases than anything.
Well, anyway, some happier memories.
That's a piece of history, though.
Well, it was.
For people that don't know, Simon, I mean, not to drag up what, you know, might be sore for some out there, about what happened there.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, it hadn't happened before, and it shows that the industry is aware and proactive to investigating misuse of drugs. And, you know, you didn't need it to happen in the Derby and the St. Leger, because they were so high-profile events. And, you know, there's a lot of dogs that would have said, and owners that certainly said, well, if it had been pulled out before, the testing method sort of took a long time to come to a conclusion, which has now been rectified. You need samples to be analysed very, very quickly, and any action taken straight away. You don't need to be reacting to something 2 or 3 weeks after. But, you know, it happened, and it was regrettable, and it did leave a sour taste. And it was a shame for both the winner, Farlow Verdict, and I think it was Wayne Brunt beat I'm trying to think of the name, but Wayne was a really nice bloke, and he was the runner-up in the St. Leger, and he actually trained at Coventry in the end, and he said, well, I never had my day of standing on the presentation area. He said, all I got was a cheque through the post. You know, so it wasn't the right way to go about it, but it was the start of putting things right.
Yeah. The sport has definitely moved on in that respect. Right, the 7.07 at Monmore is going to be our next race. So let's get some selections out there. We've also got a VT to show you as well, and that's Skywalker Pele. We showed you this a little bit earlier. Let's show you once again. Simon, we'll bring you in for this one. This was the Peter Billingham Memorial Trophy final, one of the big finals supporting the Summer Stayers Classic and the Gold Cup. Just about got round in front, as you saw.
Yeah, that's what supposed me with Skywalker Pele. It's just that he was fortunate he cut across and he just got away with it. He's no doubt pacey and, you know, don't get me wrong, he'd be unsurprised if he did win this. You notice his trial, I think, was at Sheffield. I think he's got comments of middle to rails. So, you know, it is obviously something he's been inclined to do. And I just worry that there's some pace on the inside of him. And I've gone for 6, Tyler White. It's 27.92 at Monmore. That's a really good time. It's a proper wide runner, 6, and recent winner at Sheffield. So just a bit concerned about the draw for 5, and on the other hand, a very good draw for 6.
OK, trap 6, Tyler White, selection of Simon Harris, former racing manager. I'm going to go with you, Simon. I do fancy trap 6. Good win at Sheffield, justifying favouritism there for Barry Draper. Has got some, you know, fair lines at Monmore as well. I'm going to go with the 6 with you, but you like trap 1, DC, yeah?
Yeah, 5 is a horrible box to break from at Monmore. I know Skywalker Pele has done it previously, albeit posted a much better sectional out of 6. Been away to Sheffield. I just think it is a bad box to break for. I thought it was interesting the trial comments for Skywalker Pele at Sheffield. Race out of 5, middle to rail. So I'm assuming was sort of dropping onto the rail at the turn, and I mean, if he's going to look to do that here, he's going to need to fly out the trap. So yeah, the prices, I think if you can lay shorter than 2-1 Skywalker Pele, I'd be inclined to do that. 6 has got a good draw, but I favour 1. Glengyle Aurora will just veer off from the inside, I fancy, and there'll be plenty of racing room for 1 down the inside who kept good company during the Puppy Classic up at Nottingham, and has got a good draw. He should be able to run his race on the fence, and I think it'll be a dog capable of doing sort of a 28-20, 28-30, and that might be enough if providing 5 doesn't fly out the traps.
OK, trap 1 then for Dave. New in Sid for the MWD partnership and Mark Wallace. You see Rose Draper there parading Tyler White, Ted Stopper with Skywalker Pele, and Nathan with Aladale Kazoo. Keep your emails and tweets coming in. We've had Gwyneth Rees win an open race tonight at Monmore. We've had Richard Rees win an open race at Perry Bar tonight because Churchfield Sid has done the business, winning its heat of the Birmingham Cup in good style. So Frank in the form of Lynx Maverick in the Gold Cup, and that's coming a little bit later on this evening. Keep your notes coming in. Sorry, Dave, something there?
Stan Kennett. Hi, Dave, Hobbs and Simon. Dave, can you give a special mention to JJ Fennelly's kind donation to the auction of a bitch pup? Very nice litter. Dog from previous litter by the dam, Droopy's Dargle, got within a length of a 9-year sprint track record at Cork. Also, Gary Boost, who's bid £1,600 so far. Good prizes to come. Many thanks. Stan, obviously, be the Maurice Newman Memorial Golf Day, raising money for Great Ormond Street on Wednesday. Stapleford Abbots, we've got over 30 teams booked in. But if you're not playing golf, you're more than welcome to come along just for something to eat and a drink. Absolutely everyone is welcome. Just bring the cash.
And the auction website is pretty good as well.
Yep,
right,
brilliant.
7:07, let's go to Mark Slater.
Memorial Festival, 480 puppy, hair nearing the traps. And racing away they go to a pretty level break going into the bend. 1, 2, 5, 6, 3 and 4 on the inside with the advantage. Possibly New In Sid. There's some trouble on the outside. New In Larkin was knocked over, badly hampered Aladale Kazoo. And down the far side it's New In Sid who leads by 4 lengths from Glengyle Aurora. And then close up Skywalker Pele and Tylock White. Break back to Aladale Kazoo. Second last bend it's still New In Sid with his clear advantage. 4 lengths clear. Skywalker Pele is staying on into second place, but this goes the way of New In Sid beats Skywalker Pele. Late progress for Tylock White, sees that one through in third.
Well, the best news of all is to see New In Larkin up on its feet for Kim Billingham crossing the line, albeit trouble at the first bend saw New In Larkin take a tumble, and things were set up for New In Sid. He wasn't going to relinquish this position up front, was he?
No, he had a great draw to work from, and I imagine he's probably put a a fair time on the board. I mean, he broke out quite well. 5 broke okay, to be fair, but 2 moved off. I think 5 and 6 were trying to move in, and something had to give it a turn. 3 went over. Thankfully, got up and did complete, and hopefully all will be well with track 1. But very impressive performance from the winner.
Impressive effort, absolutely. 1 has beaten 5 close for third, honours even in Poland. But Chris Rivers is now going to look at the Rugby World Cup and the big game tonight. England kicking off their World Cup campaign against Argentina. And following Chris Rivers, time for a break.
England and Ireland get their World Cup campaigns underway on Saturday. And if you think it's hot here right now, have some sympathy for Ireland, who are likely to play in 34-degree heat when they take on Romania in Bordeaux. It's not likely to be much cooler in Marseille either for England's opener against Argentina. And the Pumas may well turn up the heat on Steve Borthwick and co by defeating them for the first time in a World Cup competition. Argentina beat England at Twickenham in the Autumn Internationals last year. And whilst the form book of Argentina isn't all that impressive, there's been more to take out of their performances than there has from a dire England side who have had a torrid build-up for this tournament. England have slipped to a joint low ranking of 8th in the world after a run of 8 wins from 22 test matches. They lost 3 out of 4 in the preparation for this tournament. And they also saw Billy Vunipola and captain Owen Farrell sent off in the warm-ups, which means they'll miss this massive game in terms of who may top Pool D. Steve Borthwick's side have looked dreadful going forward. Leaky defensively, and he's thrown in Alex Mitchell at scrum half, who's barely had a game for England. It's a big gamble to see whether he can inject some life into this team. Argentina have shown a knack of raising their game recently. They've knocked off New Zealand, Australia, and should have beaten South Africa in the Rugby Championship. They really did well the last time the World Cup was in France. I think their pack might get the better of England, certainly in the front row where Dan Cole is a weak point for England. And Argentina have also been excellent when it comes to taking advantage of their kicking opportunities, with Nicolas Sanchez's return a real boost for them. It's a tight game to call, but I think Argentina, there's more positives for them in that one.
Betfred presents Check out our exclusive offers every day. Play in-store and online with Betfred.
It's the final straight. Your horse is challenging for the lead. Victory is so close you can taste it. This magnificent animal giving everything for his jockey. And in the last strides, your horse is beaten. Fortunately, with Coral, you'll get a free bet up to £10 if your horse finishes within a length of the winner. Available every day of the season. Coral.
At William Hill, we get the value of football. The value of the players. The value of the win.
It's never going to happen. You need more goals.
The value of your bet. This season, we're giving you our best value ever with William Hill's Epic Value. So, whether it's Acca Freedom, 3 or 4, or Epic Odds, we've got you covered. Real value, week in, week out.
It's epic!
It's who you play with. William Hill.
Hey, I'm Gary Ashburn, the collectibles guru, and I'm super excited to be here on Sporty Stuff TV every Sunday night at 10 p.m. to share with you my 30 years knowledge and expertise in the world of amazing collectibles. We've got a brand new show for you every week, crammed full of unmissable memorabilia, featuring some of the biggest names in sport and showbiz. So don't miss it, Collectibles Guru every Sunday night at 10 p.m, exclusively here on Sporty Stuff TV.
Welcome back to Sporty Stuff TV on this Saturday evening. It's a quick-fire double for Imperial Kennel, secured there once again with New In Sid winning the Lawrence Jones Memorial 480 puppy. Well done to all concerned, including DC, who selected the red jacket to land the spoils. 1, 5 and 6 in the end. 11-8 favourite, beat 7-4 and 7-2, 452 and 821. Apologies to Jake Whalen. He tweeted, but I missed it. But he was with New In Sid for his MB. He's done great there. Kelvin's hat, well done. That was Simon's selection at Hove. Odds of 4-1. The newcomer for Seamus Cahill beat the 5-6 favourite. 10.33 for your forecast. Right, 7.18 is going to be our next live race. Thanks to Chris with his overview of England versus Argentina. We have a 5-runner race here, Dave. Sid Ain't Vicious gets my vote in trap 6, but plenty short enough potentially.
Yeah, not the strongest of runners. I prefer the front runners in 6-runner races rather than 4 and 5, because stronger types are more likely to get a clear run, obviously. Didn't think it was a given that 6 would lead down 3, so I'll take on Sid Ain't Vicious. I thought 2 was interesting on the inside, probably another one who needs to get off the front, but bigger than 4-1 versus, I think, 13-8, 6-4 on Betfair. I'd rather take a chance with 2, but my main play would be laying 6, because if he doesn't lead, he doesn't win.
Okay, doesn't lead, doesn't win. And sorry, you say trap 2?
I'm going to go with 2, yeah, because I think it's a scopy sort.
Simon?
Yeah, I mean, poor old 6. He should be called Sid Don't Stay, not Sid Ain't Vicious. I am going to go with him, and I just think he'll lead, and you'll be holding your breath, and sometimes he'll hold on, sometimes he won't. I couldn't see an obvious stayer. As Dave said, 3, that's also a pacey sort, so that if Sid Ain't Vicious leads that won't win for me. 5, I'm not sure. 2, ex-Mullingar, but wasn't overly, I think he's about A8 at Mullingar. And 1, follow on, is the litter brother to my next best, but doesn't seem anywhere near as forward as that. Its first run, it was a little bit all over the place, and it looked quite green, so it's probably one that will come on eventually. But I'm just going to go with 6, Sid Ain't Vicious, and let's keep our fingers crossed and hold our breath off the last bend.
I agree, yeah, absolutely. Look, cast iron leader, and thereafter just trying to hopefully run the finish out of its rivals. And your MB is the Hill, so the littermate running in the 7.56 and ran 3rd in an A4 on debut, so we'll be looking at that race in due course. But as you mentioned, as you noticed, the littermate here running out of trap 1, follow on. Keep your emails and your tweets coming in. Do you follow a particular track these days, Simon? How do you roll? Or do you just, when it's RPGTV comes calling?
It is very much based on RPGTV, and this is a change for me. When I tend to be on, it's normally Monday and Tuesday, which is Doncaster, Crayford and Toaster. I did recently a Thursday, which was Hove and Monmore, and then this late minute call up for tonight, which is Hove and Monmore. So it's nice to just switch it about a little bit, but I just scroll through the results generally, and it's if I wasn't on this tonight, you'd certainly be watching Monmore, and you'd be also have an eye on what's happening at Perry Bar.
So keeping in touch with all the major events, which is absolutely fantastic, and should be the case as well. We've got to try and get an eye on what's going on at Yarmouth. I'm not too sure what time the second round heat there. No doubt a big East Coast crowd there this evening. You can see the betting on screen for the 7.24, where one of the most popular runners at Monmore, Crossfield Larry for Richie Taverner, runs out of trap 1 in the sprint there, but they are boxed away for the 7.18 at Hove. This is race 5, the BGOA Bitch of the Quarter, Blink and You'll Miss It. Not quite the case here. This is 4 bends over to Pat.
All set then for race number 5, the favourite in the stripes. And away they go, and 6 showing Dirty Speed to lead up here. and 3 was held up there in the early stages, so trap 1 takes a good pitch on the inside. Follow on, going really well actually to go on at the second bend, but 6 still close up. They pull clear of High School Mary. 2 bends to go. It's Follow On the inside, 6 on the outside. A gap back to 2. Then comes 5, making some late headway. They level up for home. So Follow On, the unknown quantity, has a lead of 2 lengths here, and up towards the line. It's the red jacket. It's Follow On.
Success for trap 1. Follow On, but Eagle-Eyed DC, we're looking for pigeon or a seagull on the track.
Definitely some sort of wildlife. It's been known. I've seen races disrupted before with seagulls on the track. Definitely something on the track here on the run to the turn. You can see Freeze spotted it, and there it is. I think it was a seagull there, and Freeze definitely been spooked and eased up. Yeah, I take it away, Simon. You work in a race office. You worked in a racing office. What would your race car comments be there, and what would happen?
Do you know, Dave, there was an incident recently, I think it was at Newcastle, and it was fairly obviously that the dog had actually sort of almost hit, and I think it was a bird of some sort. Now, I mean, it is, you spotted that, I didn't, and 3 was certainly out of sorts with it, but it probably was something that your decision on it was better live watching it rather than on a replay, because it's obviously always difficult to watch it. You know, outside interference, there is a rule there, but you know, it's a hard call. I watched the Newcastle one and thought I wouldn't know what decision to make on it, really. If it was a plastic bag, you'd probably make it a no race.
Interesting. Pigeon on the track, or probably a seagull. No Simply Fabulous there, if you remember the pigeon versus the greyhound race. When were the many years ago, Simon? You were there then, weren't you?
Yeah, David Hood, yes. It was, I'll tell you what, those are the things that need doing, because that certainly got some publicity, and I think Chris Evans and his entourage turned up to watch it. I think we had more watching that than we had the meeting, but it certainly worked, certainly got some publicity.
It certainly did. You can see the Maurice Newman Memorial Charity Golf Day details at the bottom of your screen, but we're going to dig deep in the 724 at Monmore, and we've got a red-hot favourite. There's going to be a fan club for Crossfield Larry here, Dave, isn't there? He's a really popular sort.
Yeah, class act. This was out of a middle draw at Toaster, which I think helped him out the boxes. He's been turned over prior to that, over course and distance out of trap 1. 2 is very trappy, a little bit hit and miss, but when she gets it right, she really rockets out, and she'll come across, 3 will come across. Oh, there has to be a point in which Crossfield Larry gets too short. 4 to 9 on the show, and just looking on Betfair is 1.54. Wouldn't be for me at that sort of price, because I think as much as he is the quickest, and I think he went inside the track record over this trip, this 2:10, because remember this is a short run to the turn. I think I've got to sit the other side of the fence here, because if he doesn't come away, he'll be banging trouble here, because Drum Do It Jewel and Zumi Sersha in 3 will both be on top of him, and I'm going to take a chance with 6 right around the outside here. DB Earl for Kim Billingham, who's got a decent couple of lines of form, 1 over 4 bends, 1 over 2 bends, but it might just all happen on the inside here. I'd lay 1 and have pennies on 6, because I thought 6 had claims at a big price, but I think I'm on my own, because 6 is out to 14s.
Good to see trap 3 back. Zumi Sersha always had plenty of pace for Nathan Hunt. She's very much on her toes as well, Simon, going to the boxes. Has been nibbled at in the market as well, from a best of 9s into 7s. Difficult to oppose Crossfield Larry, though, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, he's just getting ridiculously short now, but he is, and as Dave said, the benefit, he seemed to, on paper it was a bad draw in the VT race, but sometimes a switch about for dogs, and he got the little ping effect there, but he's just ultra consistent, and he looks well drawn here, and I can't oppose him, but you wouldn't want to be betting him at the prices he is now. And 3, yes, does its best form at Romford, to be fair, but she's sort of on and off the card, not doing what she can do. But, you know, sprinting, it's all about getting a decent start. And, you know, you can't oppose one, but if I had to throw in one as a danger, it would be 3 Zumi Soros.
Okay. Zumi Searcher, a danger potentially to Crossfield Larry, but all things being equal, if he comes away, he's going to take some beating for owner-trainer Richie Taberner. Emails.
Yeah, Wally Downs. Greetings from Jamaica. I've been talked into one last bit of ownership from afar.
Not one last bit, Wally, come on.
Trap 6 at Hove tonight, the Guzzler. There's a group of fellas from Paddington. I think you can see from the dog's name what they do. I tried to get my prefix for the last time, but Bush Guzzler got thoroughly outvoted. Anyway, the night of optimism in his first race is always exciting. Like to see him step out a bit better than in his trial. Have a great show. Wally Downs.
Wally, lovely to hear from you, and hope things are good in Jamaica. Probably just as warm here at the moment, but fantastic to hear from you. Has Vinny got a share as well, I wonder? Look, good luck to the Guzzler, running out of Trap 6 and a 7:36, making debut for Belinda Green, the Guzzlers UK Syndicate. What a great name. I want to be a member of that syndicate. Right, flag about to be waved. Let's go to the 7:24. Let's go to Mark.
Here on the approach, race 5, the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival 210. And racing, 6 missed the break. It's 1 on the inside of 4, 5, 2, 3 squeezed out, 2's knocked over, 6 was slow away, but it's Crossfield Larry asserting off the last bend from Romeo to victory in second, Sporty Dash in third. That's the way they finish. 1, 4 and 5.
Pretty certain that Drum Do It Jewel was up on her feet, which is the good news. Crossfield Larry justifying favouritism in the sprint. Understand did get to the pickup, did Drum Do It Jewel, which is good news. Time for a break.
When you bet fair on racing, you get daily rewards. So any day can be a big deal. On the Betfair Sportsbook, get extra places on horse racing any day this week. Daily rewards with Betfair.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. Every month we have over 20,000 boosts. Every day we power up the odds on hundreds of bets with Bet Boost. We give you the option to increase your winnings with our incredible winnings boost. And just when you think you can't get better odds, we unleash Super Boost. Check out our boosts and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Want to build a bet you want? In seconds, you're on. Combine shots, corners, cards, and more. Plus, with our Bet Builder rackers, combine bet builders across games in football, basketball, and NFL. And place popular bet builders in just one tap. Get a Bet Builder boost every day. Unibet, you're on.
Catch the best thoroughbred racing from South Africa alongside 15 live greyhound races at 11 o'clock every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday morning, live here on Sporty Stuff TV.
Welcome back to RPGTV on this Saturday evening, 7:24 result, 4-9 favourite Crossfield Larry. Second was Trap 4 at 5-1. Trap 5 was a 25-1 chance, £4.30, 23.33. We are still waiting for the Hove results. I'm not too sure what the situation is there. We're waiting for confirmation after Seagull Gate and whether the result had been affected. So there seems to be a delay there, but hopefully we can get some news sooner rather than later. So not quite the Pigeon versus the Greyhound back in the day at Wimbledon, Simon, but just to recap on that was one of the most, I suppose, extraordinary things that I think we saw at Wimbledon Stadium, and around that time there was a real drive to get greyhound racing, you know, in the mainstream media, and it worked.
Yeah, Chris Evans, who we mentioned there, the radio Chris Evans, not the actor, he got quite involved in greyhound racing at one stage, and in fact he had a dog with Terry Dartner, which, you know, you sometimes want them to turn out to be quite decent, but he didn't. It was very much low key, and, you know, getting people like that involved. And we had Andrew Lloyd Webber got involved, and he had a dog at some stage, which again, it didn't turn out to be very good. He had a dog called Dinglepuss with Nora McEllistrom, which, you know, was A7H4, and, you know, you do sort of want them to have a good dog because it gets the interest going and get them involved. And we all know sort of Vinnie Jones got involved in that. And but people often ask me one of the best memories at Wimbledon, and it's probably something that you can look up on YouTube. I don't know if anybody remembers the song Bicycle Race by Queen, and the video for that featured about 40 naked ladies riding bicycles around the speedway track.
I'll just write that down, Simon. Tell me what that is again.
Yeah, it's Queen. One of their singles was called Bicycle Race, and I think it was a double A side with Fat Bottom Girls. And they filmed the video of 40 naked ladies riding bicycles around the stock car track at Wimbledon.
You've got your laptop.
So if you can find a better highlight of my time at Wimbledon, I don't think you will. It was supposed to be a closed shop, but there's a lot of hiding places in the old stands at Wimbledon. True story.
I can imagine you and Donaldson just getting pride of place there.
Yeah, fighting over the binoculars.
Exactly. What a great story. I've never heard that.
Yeah, we look it up. Yeah.
Right. News from Hove. That's 7:18. Race has been declared void due to Seagull on the track and down to outside interference. So with our conversations earlier, Simon, you're probably not that surprised, are you, hearing that?
Well, no, I mean, no, because I think you can say, well, it's sort of almost out of anybody's control because it's an animal on the track and it was brief. But as I said, if it was somebody had thrown a football on or it was a plastic bag, there would be no doubt it would be a void race. The only thing, unfortunately, it was going into the first bend. If it had been coming off the last bend and there was a dog that was obviously in front, you can declare a part result, perhaps win only. And that rule was brought into the spate of race wreckers in the 60s and 70s. But going into the first bend, of course, you couldn't say that three wasn't affected by it.
Let's have a look at this
again. It's the right decision.
I've definitely seen a race at Hove been affected by a seagull before and it not be declared void. But that's the decision they've...
Oh, yeah, no, it's easy. Yeah, no, it's, yeah.
And it's had to jump the seagull as well.
Yeah, could come together, haven't they?
It was slowing before the actual incident, wasn't it? So obviously four of them didn't really take much notice, but three was quite clearly slowing, going towards it. Carried on, and then as you said, Dave, it was obviously out of sorts and it lost its footing and actually came into contact with the inside fence. So good spot by you, and I think well done by the Hove stewards. Regretful, but it was necessary.
It's been suggested that maybe because it was an act of God as such, that maybe that race should have been allowed to stand. Now, having said that, you mentioned about a plastic bag, you know, is that an act of God as well? So
what if you don't believe in
they've
God?
got this right, really. I mean, I don't buy that act of God, pardon?
So what if you don't believe in God?
Well, that's a fair point, I suppose, yeah. What's the sort of non-religious equivalent to act of God then? Yeah, I don't know. I'm putting it out there.
Of nature.
Yeah. Yes.
The Guzzler, here we go. The money's come from Jamaica.
Oh, Wally Downs, member of the syndicate that owns Guzzler, running out of track 6 here for Belinda Green. And, well, the betting suggests might just take some beating, but we've got one of these to show you, which is New in Shiner. drifting out to 5-2, Dave. This was on September the 5th.
Yeah, I'm really strong on two here. Claire Keith Cloud, who's my my next best, won an 8-bend race, ran Crayford 714, stays very, very well, and I think New in Shine is the pace here on the inside, but I think Claire Keith Cloud can slot in behind. Got leading claims, but on the slide, with a clear run, I thought 2 would be difficult to beat, but I'm interested in the Guzzler now, around the outside. They're making the effort to tune in from Jamaica. They must fancy their chances.
Yeah, the Guzzler in trap 6, part owned by Wally Downs. Your MB, though, is Claire Keith Cloud, running out of the blue jacket. Simon, how do you see it?
I just wonder whether Wally's out there working. Has he got himself a job out there, or is he on his holidays? I've gone for Trap 3 Greeny's Bear. Trap 3 won 2 A2s and then was up to A1, but only had 1 race and quickly backed down, which you know, tends to suggest it's in form and it's the grade has relented. It won't figure early doors. I think it will likely challenge from the 3rd bend. Trap 1 can also figure from the 3/4 mark, but may get outrun. 2, yeah, I know what Dave says, but that race was nothing special at Crayford. I think it was a 4-runner race and there was quite a lot of trouble, so I wouldn't put a lot of credit on that. And 6, a bit of an unknown quantity, and it's on the drift out actually rather than on the drift in, so I'm going to stick with Trap 3 Greeny's Bear.
Greeny's Bear then for Simon. I'm going to take you all on with New in China, but wishing Wally all the best with Guzzler making debut in Trap 6. We've had a kind of spate of tweets. I'm just going to try and go through these. Right, John Irwin was in touch and he said, I'm talking through my pocket, but that has to be a void race. Anyone who had a bet on Trap 3 like me will feel cheated. Well, obviously subsequent to that has been voided due to a seagull on the track and 3 slowing down and then having to hurdle the greyhound. Darren Bird has...
That's not his real name.
Darren Bird? Maybe not. They are not big girls, they are beauties. There's some sort of queen system or situation going on here.
About Hove there.
No, that's right. So there's some variety of people with sort of tracks that they want to bring back. Peterborough and Kings Lynn. Bocco's Crystal, I understand. Irish Derby runner-up for Graham Holland has won its heat of the MLAM Birmingham Cup. 3rd Irish win of the night. Jack Tavern Bella for Team Holland and Team Dowling with Ballymac Katie. So the Irish having a good time of it at Perry Bar tonight. Some real Irish interest there in the 2 major Category 1s at
what a race this
Perry Bar.
is. 3-1 the field on Betfair it is. 3-1 the field, wide open.
It is wide open. 5-runner race. Good luck to all concerned. Dave with his NB, Simon with his selection, and Wally with the Guzzler and the Guzzler's UK Syndicate flag about to be waved. Patrick with the call.
All set then for race number 6, and they go on their way. 1's got a good pitch on the inside ahead of 6, then comes 3, 4, 2 at the back of the field early doors. Trap 3 just moving off there, affecting Trap 4. 1 and 6 dispute the lead, and they're 2 lengths clear of Greeny's Bear. In 4 positions, Claire Keith Cloud, who's inched a little bit closer, but just propped there at the 3rd bend is Trap 1 with Trap 6. They dispute. 3 poised to challenge. 2 creep in forward now as they come off the final bend and race up towards the line. It's a tremendous finish. 2 bursting through late there for the form guide selection. Claire Keith Cloud.
Tolerance. Well done to DC, Dave Clark, Claire Keith Cloud at a price. Your MB, as you said, you were hunting them down off that last bend and finished with, finish the stronger.
Yeah, I knew in China sort of got to the Guzzler, who was first time up. I thought showed plenty of speed actually, the Guzzler, but it set up nicely for the finisher in 2, Simon.
Yeah, I sort of tried to dismiss your next best a bit, but fair credit, Dave. It was a nice spot and a good run there. And I don't, the hopes for Green, my selection, but to be honest, when yours was behind, I thought, well, yeah, mine will run on, but yours will outrun me. So, and a good run from the in 6, and certainly keep your eye on that one.
Yeah, well done to Carl Gardner and the Lynn Woodruff combination. Great supporters of that kennel with the Claire Keith prefix as well. They'll be delighted. Sorry, running out of trap 2 has finished well. We'll give confirmation of that result following. Our next race will be back at Monmore for the 744, which is the sweepstakes final. Still £1,000 to the winner, but we're dropping down, I think, to A6 grade there for the kennel sweepstakes. Keep your emails and your tweets coming in. We've had plenty of conversation about seagulls and Queen videos as well. If you've got any memorable things you want us to bring up, then certainly do so as well. Plenty of talk about football and rugby to boot as well. Plenty of people sticking with England. Plenty of people think they've absolutely got no chance. But you heard from Chris Rivers a little bit earlier. Right, the 744 would be our next race. And we've got betting on screen for the kennel sweepstakes final. Should we show you an early VT? Let's do that. Rough and Common is the one we're going to concentrate on, winning its heat last week, beating El Prez Wolf. So look out for 1 beating 6 here, Dave.
Yeah, there was plenty of money around for 6 as well. It was a little bit tardy from the boxes, but showed loads and loads of speed, El Prez Wolf around the outside. But a very, very competitive race. This one, again, it's 9-4, 11-5 opening show. I'm not sure about that price, but 9-4. El Prez Wolf steering at a wide course throughout, but I did think run well after that flat-footed start, and Bell Mullet Brandy won't be in the way, so I'm going to go with 6 around the outside, although I'll never, ever, ever get Vicky Lee's runners right, Hobbsy.
Yeah, okay.
There's 2 of them in here, so what chance have I got?
I'm going to take you on with Chubby's May, running out of trap 1 for Richie Taberner. We've just lost Simon for a few minutes, but he'll be back soon. They'll be delighted with Crossfield Larry's performance for the kennel as well. Hugely popular performer, and now got a chance to win this kennel sweepstakes. Good sweepstakes competition, of course, along with the open races tonight. We've got an A6 sweepstake and an A10 as well. You can see the state of play with the Trap Challenge. Trap 1 just making a little bit of a run for it. Of course, marked down with that voided race, the red jacket winner. But that's the presentation for our previous race at Hove. Claire Keith Cloud doing the business, and that's a presentation you're delighted to see. Gemma, is that Gemma Byford there?
I thought it was, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the winner. I'm just wondering, like Watchman, it is a sponsored car with the Brighton Sprinter of the quarter, so I think there's a connection there which we should note. Okay, yeah, Steve as well. Right, let's go across to Monmore for the 744 Lawrence Jones Memorial A6 Kennel Sweepstake Final. Keep your emails and tweets coming in. Darren Feltz wants to see, actually not quite, he wants to see Canterbury back, but he's got fond memories of Canterbury. So full of punters and a provincial track. The trainers won every big competition going, the Derby, the TV Trophy, the Laurels, Catford Gold Collar, Scurry, albeit not the St Ledger, a proper track. Sadly missed Tom George, a little bit more recently than that, Peterborough. No doubt the track that you miss most is Wimbledon, Simon. Would that be right, or are you going to surprise me? Apologies, we've lost Simon, haven't we? We've got 1 or 2 technical problems with Simon. Let's go with emails.
Obviously, this one's from James Edwards, great goal at racing this evening. Yarmouth Derby on as well, Craig Morris's dogs. Edwards hidden on the route, get on the boys. Fantastic show from the Banger lads, keep up the great work. This one's from Mooring. Yet another fantastic win by the Big Un as the racing club draws to a close after nearly 10 great years. We've been so lucky to have him running for us. Absolute best in every race. As you mentioned, a fantastic win record. And this year he has been running better than ever. He's enjoying his racing so much he'll keep going for a bit longer before he starts his well-deserved retirement. A big thank you to all the members who have supported us along the way. As from Maureen Ashby. You wouldn't mind owning one like that, I know that much. Longevity and consistency would be an absolute joy. Stuart Longdon, hi chaps, another great run and win at Perry Bar tonight from Ballymac Katie. Stay lucky, Stuart. This one, Ian, remember there was a similar issue with the dogs got distracted at Toaster recently when a hare ran across the track. Pretty sure that race got voided too.
I think you caught up. Well done, and thanks for those emails and some, of course, good references of what's going on at Yarmouth tonight and at Perry Bar. It's a big night of greyhound racing on both sides of the Irish Sea as well, with a juvenile derby at Shelbourne Park to boot as well, but plenty of Irish interest this side of the Irish Sea as well. Right, the 7:44, Chubby's May in trap 1, on the slide out to 11-4. Dave Widd, trap 6, El Prez Wolf. Keep your emails and your tweets coming in.
God, I'm using up the chalk in this race here. Whoever's pushing the buttons for the old industry shows being kept busy. Right, I think we might have some comments as well on the YouTube channel.
Rack on.
What else have we got here? Arthur Busby fancies trap 1 in our next race. And he was with trap 5 in the 7:36 at Hove. We've got people watching from all over the place. South Africa, there's someone on here as well. So evening to you, Lettergang.
Brilliant, and of course you can carry on watching RPGTV on YouTube. Right, we've got Simon back. Quick selection for the 7:44.
Trap 3, Roxhill Meadow. Lucky to be in the final, gone in as reserve.
Good luck to the owners and trainers of all the runners here for the Lawrence Jones Memorial A6 Kennel Sweepstake Final.
Race 6, the Lawrence Jones Memorial A6 Kennel Sweepstake Final. Lids are up racing and 5 was slow away. Good start from 1 and 3. They'll lead with 6 going up fast, then 4 and 2 into the first bend. Chubby's Mai on the inside of El Prez Wolf. Between runners is Roxhill Meadow. 2 lengths back to Rough and Common. The trailers are Miss Sovereign and Bell Mullet Brandy. Into the third bend, El Prez Wolf challenges strongly. Chubby's Mai on the inside. Only half a length between them. 2 lengths to Roxhill Meadow and 3 parts of a length to Rough and Common. Off the last bend on the outside, El Prez Wolf as they go for the line. Asserting close home, goes on to beat Chubby's Mai. Close for third, 2 Rough and Common, and they're staying on 5 Bell Mullet Brandy.
Well done to El Prez Wolf. Well done to Steve Lappage and Vicky Lee. They win the £1,000 to the winner Lawrence Jones Memorial A6 Kennel Sweepstake Final. As you said, DC.
Yeah, we left a little bit of a calling card last week. I thought in the heats had been backed off the boards, and it wasn't to be, but broke better tonight, Simon, and was certainly aided by kennel mate Bell Mullet Brandy missing the break in 5.
Yeah, he's had a lovely clear run round the outside, and 1's run reasonably well, and 3, no complaints for that. And you know, in a way, you're quite glad 3 didn't win because it went in as reserve, and it's always a bit irksome if that happens. But typical wide runner there, look, took full advantage of some clear space, and with a decent start, it was always going to go very, very close. Well done.
Well done, exactly. El Prez Wolf beating Chubby's Mai. It was a 6-1-2 finish in the 7:44 at Monmore. Right, we're going to hear now from Chris Rivers of the Racing Post once again, talking about tomorrow's games in the Rugby World Cup.
There are 3 Rugby World Cup matches to look forward to on Sunday, with Scotland's clash against South Africa, a hefty filling between Japan against Chile and Wales versus Fiji. Scotland against South Africa, 4:45 then on Sunday, with Scotland carrying a 13-point handicap for this one. Scotland's woeful away record and the old trap of this being a new dawn for Scottish rugby makes me slightly wary, but 13 points is an absolutely massive handicap, and this is a decent Scotland side. The Springboks are the reigning champions and have won 23 of the previous 28 meetings with Scotland, who have only ever beaten one Tier 1 nation at a World Cup. And yet this clash of styles presents Scotland with a few opportunities to run South Africa close. And the Boks come into this one, having shown a few signs of weakness recently, made a lot of errors, handling errors in the Rugby Championship, missed a lot of tackles as well. The big problem for Scotland will be dealing with South Africa's power game. But Scotland have shown such cutting edge that I do think they may well find ways through this South Africa defence. Scotland have scored 3 or more tries in 12 of their last 15 Test matches. And in Finn Russell, they have a player who's operating at the top of his game right now. Everything goes through him, and he has some great finishes outside of him in Duhan van der Merwe and Darcy Graham. Scotland haven't suffered too many wide margin defeats recently. Lost by 3 to France, 11 to France in another game, 8 to New Zealand and 1 to Australia. So 13 points seems like a big handicap, whilst a losing bonus point will be crucial in this pool. Over in Pool D, it's Wales against Fiji in another crunch encounter. Both teams have designs on making the quarter-finals, and for the 5th World Cup in a row, they've been paired together. Wales have won the last 3 meetings with Fiji, but the Fijians did famously beat them the last time France hosted this tournament. Wales enter the competition at the start of a period of transition. Several big names have moved on, and a new generation is coming through, led by captain Jack Morgan. Warren Gatland is still at the helm, though, and he'll make his side tough to beat. He's named an experienced team for this one, boosted by the return to fitness of Toby Faletau. However, where wins have been hard to come by for Wales, it's just 5 wins in the last 20 matches, and they've been turned over by the likes of Georgia and some disappointing teams recently. There's a lack of strength in depth and a struggle to score points, which makes this game really on a knife edge. Fiji come into this one with a decent warm-up behind them. They won the Pacific Nations Cup, then beat England for the first time ever. They've shown signs of improvement in all areas. The loss of fly half Caleb Muntz is a big blow to a serious knee injury, but they like to get out to hot starts, and this is a game where Wales may struggle to contain Fiji early on. Fiji is 7-5 to win the first half. I think that's a decent price for a meeting between two sides who are really contrasting styles in terms of how they start games. Fiji like to get out quickly. They've done that in the last few World Cup meetings with Wales, whereas Wales have been behind at half-time in 7 of their 8 matches this year. Wales's superior fitness might see them claw it back in the second half, but I think in the first half it could be all Fiji, and they could well give Wales a scare.
At William Hill, we get the value of football, the value of the players, the value of the win.
It's nothing can happen, you need more goals.
The value of your bet. This season, we're giving you our best value ever with William Hill's Epic Value. So, whether it's Acca Freedom, 3 or 4, or Epic Odds, we've got you covered. Real value, week in, week out.
It's epic!
It's who you play with. William Hill.
I can look at 12 horses and the form all at once. Come on. The app is my paddock.
Once the race starts, we don't bother with cheers in our house.
When the race is on, I try to remain calm. If it's possible to love a 4-legged beast and a wee tiny man sitting on top of it, then I love you!
Boost your racing odds at ladbrokes.com.
Betfred presents Check out our exclusive offers every day. Play in-store and online with Betfred.
Welcome back to RPGTV, and thanks to Chris Rivers, of course, preparing for the Rugby World Cup, the Sunday matches. Right, the 7:56 at Hove. You can see the betting on screen, a 5-runner affair. And we're going to go straight to you, Simon. This is your MB running out of Trap 3, The Hill.
Yeah, now, of course, we mentioned that Follow On ran from Trap 1 in what ultimately turned out to be the Void race, and obviously, he went on to run very well, Follow On. The little brother is here, Trap 3, The Hill. He ran a very good race first time out. He showed very good pace to halfway and suddenly got swallowed up by Whistling Wife. Now, won in a quick time and subsequently went up 2 grades, Whistling Wife. and won that as well. So for me, the disappointment of the Hill getting so easily caught and passed, now you can see the form of Whistling Wife. I think he's got a good chance here. It's a reasonable price, currently 4-1. I think it needs to get a reasonable start, but I'm with Trap 3, the Hill, for my next best.
Excellent. Well, good luck there. A little bit unlucky, of course, the Litter Mate having won the voided race. But the Hill looking to win second time up for Seamus Cahill here, running out of Trap 3 is the NB of Simon Harris, our remote guest this evening. I'm with Insane Lil for George Andreas, running out of Trap 1. Consistent saw, been backed in this grade. Decent draw against the fence, slower starter next door. That can help Insane Lil, one of two joint favourites here, along with two. Dave, how do you see it?
I was desperate for there to be a little bit of money around for Taylor's Gemini around the outside here, who's strongish on Betfair. First 4 Ben race since April, but a decent enough trial, 29.90. Couple of goes over the D2. I'm going to take a punt on 6 here, who I think should be out wide, out of trouble. Quite a strong tracker, and I thought they could tangle on the inside here. I thought the Hill had a chance to lead down, but might just stack them up on the inside there, and I'll be out wide and out of trouble. So I'm going to go with the Stripes here, despite the drift and despite the layoff.
Taylor's Gemini then for DC. So plenty of opinions here for this 756. Just to say that 736, Trap 2 was Dave's NB, returned 4-1 in the end. Claire Keith Cloud beat Trap, I think it was 4, isn't it? 11-4 chance, £19 for your forecast there. And the 744, 612, 11-4, 5-2 favourite. This was at Monmore.
I thought,
of course, 5-1 the second,
Ballymac
11-48 and 36-40.
Was impressive, Hobbs. I've just seen Ballymac Taylor. I think was equally as impressive.
Yeah, off the
Incredible.
pace, brilliant win from Ballymac Katie for Liam Dowling, and then Ballymac Taylor, very much the apple of the Imperial Kennel's eye at the moment, improving her UK record still further as well. It's a Ballymac double at Perry.
Right, got some emails.
The St Ledger.
Right, we've got Paul Stevenson. Paul in Newark says, great show as always, with some interesting discussions about foreign bodies on the track during a race. Did everyone clock the time of the seagull while this was going on? I heard the terms in horse racing, catching pigeons on the gallops. Perhaps we should add seagulls to greyhound racing, perhaps to prevent a repeat of tonight's incident. Greyhounds should have a bird of prey at each track. Have a great weekend, everyone. There's a massive red kite at Toaster. I don't think you'd be seeing any seagulls in the, well, apart from the fact it's inland, but yeah, you wouldn't be seeing much bird action at Toaster. That red kite, absolutely huge. You scare everything away.
It's amazing that it doesn't happen more often at Brighton in many ways. Seagull Gate.
I've definitely seen it happen before. Down the back, we're going back a few years, and it wasn't declared void. But to be honest with you, it's definitely impacted the race because Free's got a bit of early and it's completely eased off. So I agree with their decision. I don't think they really had any other alternative there because it's certainly not a true running of the race, is it?
Bill Easton says, great show as always, guys. Just to say, Ballymac, Katie and Taylor won. What a run. Aeroplanes. The Coral boys be delighted. Double landed. Come on.
Under starters orders for race number 7. And thereafter, then 4 bump to the start, up towards the first bend. It's 3, just 2 squeezed out. They're 1, 2 and 3. The inside traps were affected. They may have had this race to trap 6 on a plate, perhaps. Taylor's Gemini gone clear of trap 1, Insane Lil. A gap back to the Hill in trap 3. 2 bends to go. Trap 6, the clear leader, and galloping very strongly at the head of affairs. It's Taylor's Gemini. 2 lengths clear of trap 1, Insane Lil, and up towards the line. 4 running on late. It's the Stripes for Carl Gardner. It's Taylor's Gemini.
He's having a great night, is Carl Gardner. That's a 3rd winner of the evening, winning the BGOA Veteran of the Quarter. How are you, BB? And Taylor's Gemini, selected by Clarkey, is 1. Well done. That's trap 6. I think that's a 3rd trap 6 win of the evening, which trap challenge-wise is good for Stripes, but unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, at her very best, she's probably a bit too good for these, but you're taking in a bit of a chance that not been seen over 4 bends since the 26th of April, but it shaped like a race in which there would be a squeeze up on the inside. That's exactly what ensued, and out wide and out of trouble was Taylor's Gemini. The grader would probably take action. I'm not sure I'd be fancying her in an A3 next time. It's all kind of fallen for her, but yeah, once she was in command, she'd be strong enough to see off Insane Lil. I thought Kulavani Berry run well on the inside as well. Perhaps left a bit of a calling card himself there. I think he might be ready to win at this level now.
Okay, thank you. 614 is how they finished for that 7.56, confirming that. 30.17 beating Insane Lil and Kulavani Berry. Right, you can see the betting for our next race on one of the big races of the night, I think, in many ways. Certainly in terms of the quality of greyhound on show. Cachise, I think third in the Derby, wasn't it? Cachise in the end, third in the Summer Classic as well. Top class performer of Richard Rees. They'll be delighted with Churchill Sid a little bit earlier at Perry Bar. Let's have a look at Cachise then, and this was winning its semi-final of the Summer Stayers Classic, running out of, I think, trap 1, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's sort of tailor-made for this 6:30. He's trappy enough to boss the inside, and yeah, then he just poured it on, and with a lap to go, they could have stopped the race here. As good as the opposition were, I think it was Warzone Tom giving chase, the defending champion of the Summer Stayers Classic, but he broke his heart really. He beat him by 5 3/4 in a 37.74. At his best, I think he'd be too good for these. I'm not convinced they're clear Ballymac John though. I thought the two might just tangle early on here, and I was going to say I fancy Oakfield Magic, but I don't think I can put up any ground that is as weak as this on Betfair. We touched on Oakfield Magic at the top of the show, or I did. Strong running Salt, who's sort of been on the comeback trail, following a layoff, but the dog's 44 on Betfair, and he shouldn't really be. I had him in probably an 8, 9, 10 to 1 chance. I feel like you could get a result here. I wouldn't put anyone off laying 1 and 2 here and trying to get a result. 4 can run a bit as well. That's where I'm going to be, obviously, but it's going to be one for the £2 punters out there. 4 and 6 for me. But
4 and 6?
I don't like the market move on 6. Absolutely friendless.
Friendless Oakfield Magic. You can see Simon Harris is back with us. Hard lines with the hill crowded out of contention, Simon. But we've got a 6-bend race now at Monmore, 6:03. How do you see it?
Yeah, I've gone for the obvious one, Cachise, and I think it's a class animal. Seems to be getting better at starting these days, and in this short run to the bend could be crucial. Track 1's interesting. We they obviously, the kennels expect it to be a reasonable stayer. Just it might take a run or two to show some decent form. So Oakfield Magic, I think Dave mentioned earlier, probably wants further, but could be running on at the end. But I'm going to go with Mr. Reliable, Trap 2, Cachise.
Cachise running out of the blue jacket. Let's take you across to Monmore. No doubt a balmy evening there in the Midlands. They'll be heading across to the far side start for this Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival 6:30. Ballymac John representing Mark Wallace in the NWD partnership. Of course, thank you to Maureen for the email about the big one, a real star of the Mark Wallace Greyhounds syndicate. I think they've so ably run, and the website as well. Changing of the situation there at Imperial Kennels with the NWD partnership, but some fantastic work being still done by the big uns. So keep your notes coming in. What you got there, Dave?
I've got one here from Mick. Just seen Ballymac Taylor run. Unbelievable. Found 5 or 6 bits of trouble. Would have been 100 to 1 in running at one stage. Absolutely destroyed them for the last 2 bends. Amazing dog for me. Going to be better than Space Jet. Which is quite a statement there, but bubbling up nicely in the St Ledger. Jim Bob back on. Ballymac Taylor, what a dog. Must have been 100 yards behind them and won well. This one is from Gary Smith. Don't know if you've noticed, but all the decent new staying dogs are all out of Ballymac Anton. There you go, interesting one. Thank you for that. And finally, this one is from Mark. Pretty sure I remember being at Wimbledon really early for trials one night, and Sham 69 were there doing a video for Hurry Up Harry, which was going to be re-released about 2005. I've YouTubed it, there's nothing. I've Googled it, no sign of it. Now I'm thinking I've either made it up, or the bloke from Sham 69 often wandered around the grandstand miming to his own songs, or possibly they realised the re-release wasn't going to be very successful and didn't bother. That was also the night where I stood on the first bend watching trials, and a dog called Yorkshire barked at the other dogs all the way around the first 2 bends and up the back straight. Did anyone else have a hound who used to bark during races? Pretty sure it's rare. Thanks, Mark.
Who was that from? That was from Mark. Mark, I might be giving you some wrong information here, but I think this was going to... It could have even been a World Cup song that Hurry Up Harry was going to be re-released, and maybe, just maybe, they were recording something pertaining to a World Cup song along those lines. Right, let's go to Mark Slater.
Bunny on the approach, race 7 this evening, 8:03 on the card. It's the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival, 6:30. Off and racing 2, pinged out and leads from 5 and then 1 and then 3, 6 and 4. It's Kachis, Ballymac John now in the slipstream of the leader, going for a gap on the inside off the second bend, closely followed by Eileen's Daisy, only a length away. 3 lengths then back to Pomba Jake, and then a gap back to Authentic Lass and Oakfield. The Magic at the rear of the field. Ballymac John found a way through, but Kachis right back on terms, heading down the far side for the final time. Eileen's Daisy, then the improving Pomba Jake, but Kachis has raced on again, going around the second last bend, quickly put 3 or 4 lengths between himself and Ballymac John, and the staying on Pomba Jake, but this will go the way of Kachis. 4 lengths clear. Pomba Jake stayed on for second, and in the end Ballymac John only just clung on for third.
Class, absolute class. Kachis does the business for Richard Rees and the Evans family. They'll be delighted. Ballymac John, you know, he's a class act, stepping up in trip, stamina always taken on trust. You know, he's run his race, out-trapped by Kachis, and, you know, did show the middle that we expected.
Yeah, I always fancied Ballymac John to bustle him up at some point. Ended up being at the third turn here with his burst of middle. Ballymac John being sort of more of a 4-bend dog, has just out-middled Kachis into that third turn, and he's a big old lump though, Kachis. He's just 38 kilos, and he's rode it, not really lost the stride, and then he's took off. He's a classy animal, isn't he? To be a third in the Derby and see out the 6:30 as well as he does, he's absolutely brilliant. He's overcome. I thought that was a tricky draw for him there, but he's cruise time in fine style, very impressive, and without a doubt one of the top stayers, Simon, around.
Yeah, he almost took offence to one giving him that shove at the third bend and thought, I'll show you. And he just kicked on. And don't give up on track 1. You know, it's always difficult going over the longer distance for first run. And you know, review him in a couple of runs' time. But Kachis, just smashing dog. I'd love to own him.
Thanks, Simon. 5-6 favourite. Kachis' return. 8-1 the second, 15-8 the third, 11.34 and £17.76. It's another Rees winner after Gwyneth Rees. It's Richard Rees at Monmore. There's a Trap Challenge update as well. We've got 6 and 2 and 4 with 3 wins apiece. Right, we're going to take a break now, and after the break, the guys will be looking ahead to the Henlow Maiden Gold Cup final.
The final stone of these championships.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary.
That's not bad at all.
We believe every sport should be epic.
Berlin.
So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
And here's today's favourite, number 4, First to Feel Rain. And you can see why, Gina.
He hasn't got the most attractive head, but he has an impressive turn of foot for his size.
He must be 20 hands at least.
Just loves the big occasion.
Featurette stud, Gina?
Not sure, Matt. Unlikely to be wanted for breeding. Worthy favourite, Matt?
Definitely the favourite, Gina.
Even the Irish will back this English banker.
Don't feel like a punter, feel like a favourite with great offers on the Paddy Power app.
Want betting on the horses to be anything but flat? With an app that impresses every time out. You're on. Want to watch live streaming of races in the UK, Ireland and around the globe? And get a chance to win even bigger with 3 Uniboosts every day on any horses you want. Unibet, you're on.
Hey, I'm Gary Ashburn, and I've been working in the world of collectibles and memorabilia for over 30 years. I'd love you to join me every Sunday night at 10 p.m. for Collectibles Guru, where we showcase awesome items from the worlds of sport, music, TV and film. You'll hear the stories behind the genuine signatures and get a front row seat into the world of sport and showbiz. So tune in every Sunday night at 10 p.m, only here on Sporty Stuff TV.
Sunday on RPGTV, we look forward to the first round proper of the Henlow Maiden Gold Cup. 4 runners qualified from each of a trial stake last week. And here's the lineup for Heat 1. We're going to concentrate on Run Ella Run, who from Trap 5 finished second to Glide Away Hugo. Also in the race, Savannah Honey from Trap 2 finished 4th.
This was a victory in the end for the odds-on favourite Glide Away Hugo, but Run Ella Run in Trap 5 certainly made things pretty difficult for Jason Bluefield's charge. Trained by Frank Gray, you can see Run Ella Run was up there from the outset, did give a little bit of a ground away by running wide, but if you thought it was all over when Glide Away Hugo went on, you'd have to think again, because Run Ella Run really did battle on. Also looking back, as you say, to Trap 2 Savannah Honey, who was bumped at the first bend, did stay on but never really threatened. But Run Ella Run, I thought it was a good performance in the circumstances.
So that's Run Ella Run. Would she be your selection for the race?
I think this is, you've got to look at the clock here, and Arthur Sider's got such a time advantage. The difficulty with this 550 metre trip at Henlow is the fact that there's hardly any room for error at the start. You're actually almost starting on a bend, aren't you, that little false straight. But I think if Arthur Sider runs up to that level of form that we saw in the trial stake, it's going to be very difficult to beat.
OK, thanks very much for that. Moving on then to Heat 2. And, well, Frank Gray's got Savannah Lioness, who was very impressive in the trial stakes. And we can see here, winning from Trap 3. Also, Droopy's Cherished from Trap 2 finishes 4th.
And this form could well have been boosted by the time that Savannah Lioness goes, because Trap 1 is Arthur Sider, who looks to have a great chance in the opening heat. But this was a case of Savannah Lioness doing everything right and repelling all challenges. And to be honest with you, repelling them pretty well. She looked vulnerable in front at certain points of the race, but is clearly at the top of her game at the moment, and probably from that top bend onwards was never going to be threatened. Arthur Sider did keep on well, but the rest were well behind. It was a top-notch performance.
It most certainly was. Untold Quatcher, that 34.20 definitely doesn't tell the story.
No, not at all. You mark that one down time-wise very significantly. Untold Quatcher for Carol Weatherall. It was a race where it was never going to be a time race the way that the race went to plan. Look, Trap 1 is a massive advantage, however, in these 550s if you start. And if Savannah Lioness gets to the front, I don't care what she's in against, I think she's going to be very, very tough to pass.
Yeah, Youngie would like to bottle that start from Zazira's Henry last time as well. Moving on then to Heat 3. And on debut, Untold Panga for Carol Weatherall was very, very impressive. Make It Bonnie from Trap 5 finished 3rd.
Yeah, Untold Panga was a good winner for Carol Weatherall here. Went off the even money favourite. Trap 1 was Savannah Titan, who was well fancied by many, was the 6-4 second in. And the pair really had it between them for much of the contest. Trap 5, Make It Bonnie, did stay on very well late, but never threatened. Up front, though, Untold Panga, 33.59 the winning time, and stretching out well. And I thought did leave a little bit on the track. It had a trial beforehand, but you can see swung off a little bit into the home straight, and I think there's definitely scope for clipping that time.
Yeah, very, very strong race, particularly when you consider Savannah Titan obviously had decent derby form as well.
Absolutely. Savannah Titan has got form against the very best at Toaster, and when turning in that pitch, you had to think was a massive runner. But I do think Untold Panga can improve a little bit. Calico Bryn would have a decent draw there on what we saw with Untold Panga potentially moving off, and the way that Make It Bonnie stayed on, I can see Make It Bonnie qualifying.
Okay, thanks for that. Moving on then to the final heat. This is Heat 4. And we're going to have a look at Pam Dolby's Smooth Operator, winning impressively from Trap 6. Good April from Trap 5, finished in 4th.
Well, this was a real shocker that opened Trial Stakes proceedings last Sunday. 14-1 chance with Smooth Operator. You have to say that the gods did conspire to help. Was not in a great position going into the first bend, and then tracked very cleverly to get into a pitch. It looked very good for Castell Judge in Trap 1, who had gone clear, but the petrol started to run dry, and Smooth Operator really powered home. We get up for a 3/4 of a length of victory. Good April was up there early, but had been involved in that trouble. So I think you can probably put a line through that. They'd just be glad to still be in the draw.
Smooth Operator showing the benefit then of local knowledge. So we've seen the 4 heats. Overall, how do you see it?
Well, look, just looking at this one here, I think Savannah Titan, who we mentioned earlier, has got that real high-class profile. I think Savannah Titan could be the one to be in this one on the draw. Overall, it's a fascinating competition, but a bitch in form and at the very top of the game, Savannah Lioness, she'll do for me.
Okay, thanks very much for that. Looking forward to seeing these 4 heats Sunday on RPGTV.
Thank you to Jason, thank you to Jay. Yeah, apologies, I jumped the gun. They're looking at the heats of the Gold Cup. Right, here we go, 8:17 at Hove. They are on parade for our next race there, 5-runner affair. Just to say that Crossfield Larry's 12:34 victory earlier was a new track record, so well done to all concerned. Right, we're going to show you one of these in action, the 8:17. We're going to show you Blue Exile finishing 2nd on September the 5th. Dave, this was a good effort running out of the blue.
Yeah, I think it's a chasey salt, this one. Blue Exile, I don't think it'll be wanting to hit the front too soon, but good draw on the inside. Looks very short, wouldn't be a play for me at that sort of price. I think there's a 3.15 on Betfair. I wouldn't even be taking that. I'll be looking for something down the middle here, and there was money for Melbury Larry on the early prices. Not fortunes, but just 1 or 2 nibbles, and I thought was an interesting run. Another one would be sort of looking to come late and fast, and I thought the Black Jacket might be able to fetch in 6, so I think I'll lead around the outside, but probably be found wanting coming home.
Okay, DC with Melbury Larry. Simon Harris, who do you want?
I'm with Dave. Melbury Larry. He's desperate for a clear run. He can't seem to find a clear run. I think obviously in long term his future lies over the longer distance, but you know, I just maybe can see him getting a bit of a chance, and he could win comfortably if he gets a decent run. Trap 3 main danger for me. I think there'll be trouble on the inside, and as I say, there is sort of Trap 1 might get in a position where it gets there too early. And I think with 4 with a clear run, he could be one to follow once he gets his. He just needs a bit of confidence.
Bit of confidence and perhaps some luck as well. Melbury Larry, DC and SH with the ground in the Black Jacket. I'm going to go with Blue Exile running out of Trap 1. The VT Greyhound got the switch to the fence now. Just to say that 7.56 at Hove, won by Trap 6. Taylor's Gemini returned 11-4 joint favourite. Beat Trap 1 11-4 joint favourite, 12.61. Kachis, fantastic time, 37.53 for the 6.30 at Monmore. Stunning effort from Richard Reese's Greyhound. Returned 5-6 favourite, 8-1 the second, 15-8 the third. It was a 2-3-1 finish there. The loading process pretty much complete at Hove for this 8.17. It's A6 the grade. Someone's had some fun with the naming of the sponsored races tonight. This is the Sticky Toddy Pudding Greyhound Derby.
Race 8, the sticky toddy pudding ground derby. And they race away then. 6 goes up fast on the outside. Rogue Venom to lead. Ahead of 2 and 4. 1 and 3 somewhere drift early doors. So they come off the second bend to enter the back straight. And it's Rogue Venom, 2 lengths clear of Springfield Gold, edging closer. They're followed by 4, 1 trying to improve on the inside. 3 still last of the 5 runners. So Trap 2 goes on there. 6 is shuffle back through the field there. Trap 2, Springfield Gold as shot clear. It's going to be the inside traps dominating. 2 beats 1. 4 will be third.
2-1-4 in race 8 at Hove, the 8:17. Well done to Nora Mack and Mr. Parfit winning the blue jacket, showing good middle speed and strength to come home in good style. Simon, going to watch this race again. Rogue Venom in trap 6, paced up, just about led into the first bend. The eventual winner, though, has got a decent enough pitch.
Yeah, 6. He won last time out of the big prize, but normally does it from later on. And I was quite happy with the position that my selection, Mulberry Larry, got into. But he instead of kicking on from halfway, he just seemed to put the brakes on a little bit. And he just looks very much like a dog that really just needs to get his head in front one night for a bit of confidence. But there was no trouble between 2 and 1, and 2 got a lovely pitch and nipped through on the inside. And 1 was started to come at the finish, but a good run in the end. And credit to the winner.
Yeah, I think the oldest runner in the field as well. Actually, no, not quite right. Rogue Venom was, but Springfield Gold, I think, winning the 11th time in 61 starts. 2-1-4 is how they finish for the 8:17. Won't be too long before we are across to Monmore once again for the 8:23, the Lawrence Jones Memorial A10 Kennels Sweepstake. Big meeting there indeed. That's the scene at the Wolverhampton venue. Let's show you one of the runners here. Winterfield Trev winning its heat last week, Dave, running out of trap 2 and beating JCK.
Yeah, banged out and made all in good style as well, Winterfield Trev, and fantastic prize money. I know with the heats last week, but A10 runners with a crack at winning a grand here in this race, which is absolutely brilliant. So tremendous occasion for everyone involved here. Unfortunately, quite a few of these dogs are owned by trainer, but we won't hold that against them. Hopefully those that are owning these lower grade dogs will enjoy a crack at a grand. There was all sorts of money for Sean's Fiddle last week and just run away from them in good style as well. But switching to 5 is going to be a negative. I'll keep saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I really don't like the 5 box at Monmore, and I'm going to take on Sean's Fiddle, who's that 5-4 is going to go as well because it's very strong, 2.26 on Betfair. I thought Rewired run well in the heats last week. I'm going to go in again at a big price, 1 at 6-1. The race cut up a bit. This could cut up a bit as well, and his double figure prices. I'll go with Rewired in trap 2.
Well, I think trap 2 has got 4 winners this evening. I think we'll be vying for the lead in the trap challenge, if not the outright lead. I'm not too sure that's been updated yet, but we'll double check that. But Rewired running out of trap 2. Simon, how do you see it? Might just have lost Simon once again. Not too concerned about. Well, I'm concerned about this connection between Mitcham. It's not that far, but we seem to be struggling. But yeah, we can't just quite get the sound right there from Simon.
I'm getting him in the studio for the last hour.
Yeah. If he set off now, I think he would make the last race this evening. I think we're racing until 9:47 this evening, and then saving the best for last with Lynx Maverick, the Gold Cup champion. Sean's Fiddle running out of trap 5. I'm going to go with the Jolly. I thought one well enough in its heat last time to suggest that goes in once again. It's got to do things right at the boxes, and 1 or 2 potential improvers here, not least Drum Do It Anna running out of trap 6, only second start for Ian Langford's bitch. Did well behind Rewired to qualify, so that's going to be the case here. So have you got a team for Wednesday? You playing at Stapleford Herberts?
I've got 2 lads from my pool team who I'm good pals with, and Wayne Mardle is going to join us as well, so I'm sure we'll have a laugh on the way round as well.
Is he a good player, Wayne?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I've played golf a few times with Wayne. I think he plays well think he plays off about 28. Yeah. So
right.
we'll see.
Well, that's good for your team.
Yeah. He might play off a little bit less than 28, but we don't want to show our hand just yet, obviously, because it's a day known to feature 1 or 2 bandits. Is the Maurice Newman Golf Day. So Wayne won't be. He'll be playing off somewhere between 6 and 28. That's all I'm going to give away.
Well, that's right. There's 30 teams lining up, so it's always...
We've got room for 36. There's still a few more teams.
Oh,
and as I say, if you're not playing on Wednesday, you're still more than welcome to come along just for a drink. There'll be food. Don't know if there's going to be a barbecue or... There's always a bit of grub on and cheap booze as well. So, yeah, it'll be always a good day.
And they look after you so well at Stapleford Abbots. It is a brilliant golf course and great fun's going to be had there for a worthy cause. Right, Mark Slater with the call, 8:23.
It's race 8, it's the 8:23. It is the Lawrence Jones Memorial A10 Kennel Sweepstake final. Off racing 2, very slow away, 6 away fast with 5 showing pace, and then 4 and 3, and then 1 and 2, and 5 Sean's Fiddle has moved on as they go towards the back straight, going on from Winterfield Trev, and then back in third, Tullymurray Rapid, Drumduit Anna dropping back, and then JCK, and the slow starting Rewired, but Sean's Fiddle on top as they go around the second last bend, 3 lengths cleared of Winterfield Trev, who's a clear second, bunching up behind for third. They head towards the line, Sean's Fiddle, Winterfield Trev keeping on, but Sean's Fiddle goes on to win. Heat and final, beats 3 in second, Winterfield Trev, and 4 Tullymurray Rapid was third.
Success for Sean's Fiddle, justifying favouritism in the 8:23 race 8. Well done to Connections. Richie Taberner is having a good evening. Crossfield Larry winning the sprint in track record style, and Sean's Fiddle doing the business here and winning the Lawrence Jones Memorial A10 Kennel Sweepstake and pretty much repeating what he did in the heat. Simon, I think you're back now. It was a good effort from Track 5.
Yeah, new laptop, Hobbsy, so hopefully this is better. Yes, it would have been my selection, but I suppose I would have always said that. It first win in the heats after 5 defeats, so you assume it was going to come on for the win and done 29-27 and done exactly the same here tonight. And that's what's nice about these competitions. You know, you can see a dog, it's sort of it's running again tonight unpunished for a win.
Thanks, Simon. Yep, 5 Sean's Fiddle has beaten Winterfield Trev in that final. It looks as if maybe Trap 4 was third. Tullymurray Rapid 5, 3 and 4 is how they have finished. Right, we're going to take a break, and then afterwards the lads are going to be looking, or the guys are going to be looking at the Bet365 Empress Stakes, which kicks off, I think, with 4 heats tomorrow.
Betfred presents Check out our exclusive offers every day. Play in-store and online with Betfred.
The William Hill 5. Top tips for positive play. Don't chase losses.
What are you doing?
Know your limits. Get support if you need it. Take a break. Keep it fun. Find our safer gambling tools online or in shop.
It's the final straight. Your horse is challenging for the lead. Victory is so close you can taste it. This magnificent animal giving everything for his jockey. And in the last strides, your horse is beaten. Fortunately, with Coral, you'll get a free bet up to £10 if your horse finishes within a length of the winner. Available every day of the season. Coral.
Catch the best thoroughbred racing from South Africa alongside 15 live greyhound races at 11 o'clock every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday morning, live here on Sporty Stuff TV.
On Sunday afternoon, we have the Bet365 Empress Stakes kicking off over at Towcester. Joining me is Emily Wallace to talk us through. In the first heat, we saw fabulous Sonique proving the best time at 29.18 in her trial stakes, and was a pretty impressive performance, Emily.
Was very impressive, perhaps slightly unexpected. Didn't expect her to come out the traps this fast. Clocked a very good 4:15 sectional. Once she got in front, that was probably going to be the end result. She's got 5.75 form at Romford. Whiting's New Era in 1, obviously a great bit. She loves Towcester and she's very strong herself. And New in Touch as well. She showed lovely early and she's strong enough herself. So very impressive from Fabulous Sonique. 29.18, a big improvement on her previous Towcester form.
They oppose again in the first heat on Sunday, so it looks a very exciting first heat. Heat number 2 of the Empress Stakes lines up with Crafty Chevaux in trap 4. That we're going to have a look at her trial stake first, and to say the kennels was on fire would be a bit of an understatement.
It was a great result for us, obviously. Crafty Chevaux is probably first string in this competition for us. It was just a relief to see her trap. She loves trap 1. She does edge off slightly, but she railed nicely here. She won the Irish Oaks out of trap 1, so pretty confident. And it was nice to see her pull away as far as she did, because obviously before she was only been at Monmore, so she proved very strong. Rapido Lady also for the kennel, she battled on really well to be second. She's getting stronger with each run, and Clara Coco, who's no mug herself, she's a great bitch and as well is very strong. Had a great race to be third.
Absolute stunning performance there. Another trial stakes winner was BT's Sparkle in trap 5. Was in trap 5 on the trial stakes as well, and made very easy work of this one.
Yeah, it was a really nice performance. 4:15 sectional was very good. But it was Coffisire that just got around in front at that first bend, but BT Sparkle didn't give up, got on the inside, showed lovely back straight pace to lead at the third bend. Coffisire in trap 1 kept on well, with Fabulous Dina in trap 2 staying on as well for third place, but BT Sparkle very impressive, recording 29.50.
Now I think I know where you're going to go for this heat, but just confirm who your selection would be.
I've got to be with Crafty Chevaux. Perhaps a tricky draw because she definitely has early inside of her, but I think if she can trap then she should be okay.
Certainly looks the one to beat. Heat number 3, well, we saw Charming Girl in her trial stakes, dominating pretty much from the get-go. Got trap 6 in the trial stakes, gets trap 6 again in her third heat, but seemed to handle it pretty well, Emily.
She did, she handled it really well. She stayed in the straight line. Cashine Eliza for us was first to show, but Charming Girl showed much better early than Cashine Eliza and managed to get in front. She's another one. Once she's out in front, then she's going to be very hard to pick up. Cashine Eliza is very strong and she did well to get as close as she did to Charming Girl. But it was a very, very impressive performance, and she's a big player in the competition. 29.12, fastest of the trial stakes. It was a very good run.
Yeah, certainly was. Really laying down the benchmark with that time for the Anson Kennels. Did she be your selection for that one?
I'd say so, yeah. I think Clara Coco will be edging in slightly. She has a big advantage on times, as you can see. Mini Bullet hopefully can run well for the kennel. I think trap 4 won't hinder her at all. She's a great bitch. She can handle bad draws. So I'd love to see Pep and Step go well, obviously, but Charming Girl is going to be hard to beat.
That's heat number 3. The fourth and final heat, we saw Nomadic Magic for Richie Taberner. Opposing Mini Bullet there. We're going to show you Nomadic Magic's run from the trial stakes, and looks a promising sort for Richie. Was only having her 6th career start here.
It looks very promising sort. She had about a month's layoff and has come back with some really nice trials. This was her first race back and very, very impressive. I thought Mini Bullet was going to lead, but Nomadic Magic showed lovely early pace to get in front, and obviously Mini Bullet's very strong. She's more of a 6-bend type. Did eventually close the gap a bit, but Nomadic Magic seemed pretty strong herself.
Certainly did, laying down that 29.56, and another trial stakes winner was trap 6, Mystical Megan for Kevin Hutton, and a bitch with some nice early pace and does keep a true wide course, so has got her draw again.
Yep, has a nice draw. This was a good run from the first three. Cosmopolitan, she was a certainty to lead, obviously a fantastic bitch around Romford, has amazing early pace, so she was always going to get out in front, but her stamina was going to be tested over a 500 trip. But Mystical Megan was there or thereabouts. Pep in the Step in trap 3 was quite far back and made up some eye-catching ground. Cosmopolitan was trying out in front, but Mystical Megan eventually proved too strong.
She certainly did and was a good winner on the day. Where are you looking for this heat number 4?
I'm going with my own Cashin Eliza in trap 1. I think she has a nice draw. I think trap 5 is going to hold up Mystical Megan early. Cosmopolitan will probably lead again, but I'm just hoping Cashin Eliza can get a nice run around the bend. If she gets a clear run, then I think she could pick up Cosmopolitan.
For brilliant Bet365 Empress Stakes to look forward to this Sunday afternoon at Tosa, make sure you tune in and watch it live on RPGTV.
It wasn't the lads, it was the lasses. Thank you very much to Anna and to Emily. Their look at the heats of the Bet365 Empress Stakes, which you can see live on the show tomorrow afternoon. Now, since the draw and that preview, which was recorded earlier this week, Nomadic Magic has been withdrawn, has been replaced by Ivy Hill Bonnie, who runs out of trap 5. Wide runner is 100-1 in the anti-post market. Let's have a look at the other heats with the outright prices. I think these are best in the Village. Fabulous Sonic, impressive in the trial stakes, running out of trap 1 up against the likes of Whiting's New Era. Moving on to heat 2, Crafty Chavoo, the Irish Oaks champion for Mark Wallace. Good record already in the UK, outright jolly. Not just with the sponsors Bet365, but the other firms as well. And heat 3, you can see there Mini Bullet, just underlining what a strong hand that Mark Wallace has, albeit Charming Girl represents Patrick Janssens and again ran very well in the trial stakes last week. Right, that's the situation at Toaster tomorrow afternoon. Of course, in terms of temperatures permitting, I do know that Central Park tomorrow afternoon has already been called off. Temperatures very cooler at Toaster, as we well know when it gets to winter time, so not sure the situation is there, but watch this space, I would say. 8:38 at Hove, we're counting down to our next live race. Simon, let's bring you back in. How do you see this?
I've gone for the informed runner in trap 3, Derek Knight's Paul the Layabout. Hard race, I think, overall, but it's definitely in form. It's won its last 2. It's got a nice turn of early pace. It normally does a sectional around about 3:55, 3:57. Should see it lead here. Trap 1's got a nice run on the inside. Trap 4 for me is the danger, Caramel's Crisp, but I am going to go with trap 3, Paul the Layabout.
Paul the Layabout then for Simon. Dave?
I had a really good look at Her Royal Highness. Run okay last time in behind Mountain Evie, who's quite a strong runner. She will get led down early on and she's been over further, but I don't know, she didn't scream to me that she's flying, and I think Cozy's black back could lead down the inside, and if holding free on the run to the turn, which is no mean feat, but I think it's something that he's capable of doing, I thought he might just make all the run in here. 5's an interesting runner, Cole Gardner's Charge, who's kept far better company than this in the past, but is on the comeback, only second start since the beginning of August, and quite a moderate effort last time up, and market's not exactly speaking in favour of feeling good. He's speaking in favour of Caramel's Crisp though, who's progressed through the grades quite nicely, 6 wins from 24, quite strong over the trip, but I'm still going to side with 2 off the front.
2 off the front then, you're with Cozy's back?
Yep.
Interesting, trap 1, we've mentioned him earlier today. Jimmy Percy owns Her Royal Highness, running out of trap 1, Patriotic Soul he is, for Nora Max. Dave's going to go with 2, Simon with 3. I'm going to go with Jimmy's dog in the red jacket, Her Royal Highness. Good luck with how you see it. You can see the betting on screen for our next race at Monmore, the 8:43, where we got a red hot favourite, No Rush, for Carol Weatherall, running out of 6. Just to say, Sean's Fiddle returned even money, winning the sweepstake, the A10 sweepstake, 5-3-4. It was evens 5-1, 5-1, 8-12 and 22.90. And in the 8:17 at Hove, Trap 2 Springfield Gold, winning for Nora Mack, 2-1-4, 7-2, 15-8. £12.65 for your forecast. You can see the punters availing themselves of a prime spot, looking for maybe seagulls, brave seagulls, crazy seagulls as well. We've had a void race because of a seagull. Hopefully they've flown away. The 8:38 at Hove. Let's go to Patrick.
So race number 9, the Philip Pasby 21st birthday stakes, and they break away. 3 Shirley pace for 2, 4 well up there, 4 just had to check there on the run to the first bend, and 5 hampered at the first corner. It's Cozy's back with the advantage, with Trap 3 Paul the Layabelle in second place. Midfield feeling good, the orange jacket. They're followed by 4, 1 the back marker with 2 bends to go. The race begins to get very serious now. Trap 4 looks a big danger, but had to switch there approaching the paddock turn. It's Cozy's back for Derek Knight, with 4 inching closer all the time at the pay post. 2 beats 4. That's how they're going to finish.
Dave said that the Blue Jacket could just be the trap to be with this evening. That's another Trap 2 winning. I think 2 has beaten 4. Cozy's back has beaten Caramel's Crisp, I believe. We'll confirm that in due course. But let's take you to the Wolverhampton track, because this is race 9. It's the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival 480 British bred. And No Rush running out of Trap 6 for Carol Weatherall is the greyhound we're going to feature. And we're going to show you her running second to the brilliant Fabulous Azura, now retired. Of course, second in the BGBF Oaks final. This was at Oxford, Dave. And, she's a terrific bitch, this one. Always, gives her level best. Always there or thereabouts. And she was there or thereabouts once again. Yeah, she's been a great bitch for the Weatheralls and Callum Purdy and those involved. Just literally getting to big finals and bumping into top class trackers in good form. As you say, she bumped into Fabulous Azura here, bumped into Romeo Command in the British Breeders at Nottingham as well. A speed track wouldn't suit her, I don't think anyway, but she's landed in quite a moderate race. I know we've just seen her staying on well at Oxford there, but I think a stiff 4 bends is perfect for her, like your Nottinghams and your Hoves, where she's ran well in the past. But I think she can get away with it here, because she's got just enough about her early on to be handy, and then she'd be far too good for these. In terms of sort of a forecast, I'd love for there to have been a little bit of money around for Greenwell Grace, John Flaherty, Newcastle Radar. 28.43 in a trial is not to be sniffed at. Is 10.5 on Betfair. I'm going to chuck that in for the forecast. I think it's a really, really interesting runner, Greenwell Grace, and one to look out for. But 6 the class act, and rightly so, chalked up a short price. Class act should oblige, says DC. I agree. I do think Trap 6 takes the world of beating. Simon, you with us?
Yeah, absolutely. It just is such a reliable performer. Probably doesn't win as many races as it should, because it always tends to be in with the very, very best. And normally when it starts favourite, it does win. If you look at its form, there's a 5-1 on win at Oxford. It gets Trap 6. We know, probably because there's not many wide runners about, but it never seems to draw any other trap than 6, which is absolutely perfect for it. Trap 3, I was on the show on the 31st of August. Trap 3 ran very, very well. Some nice, not fastest out the boxes, but some good pace, so that's coming on nicely. Could be a bit of a danger. An interesting sort in Trap 1, Alina's debut. It actually is in any other day would have been a Romeo, because it's Romeo recruit, Fabulous Mila, April 21. So it's ticking over nicely, and that at the trial round Monmore 28.82. So watch out for that one, but no reason to oppose Trap 6, No Rush.
No rush then across the board in this 8:43. Keep your emails and your tweets coming in. Thanks, Simon, there. I think they crossed the line together in the first Yarmouth Derby second round heat. Swift Iconic and Knocked Us Esky couldn't quite make out who landed the spoils there, but importantly, in terms of the forecast, that I presume both will be in the semi-finals. The 8:43 at Monmore, though, they are behind the boxes. Won't be too long before we're racing there. Dave, you got anything?
Yeah, Paul Stevenson, those seagulls down south are well hard. Last time I was in Brighton, I was leaving the pub after a liquid lunch, called into the chip shop a few doors down, walking along the seafront, tucking into my chips. I was confronted by 3 seagulls. They swooped down so quickly to grab my chips, I swear one of the blighters was wearing an eye patch. From Paul Stevenson.
Keep them coming in. Flag about to be waved for the 8:43 at Monmore. It is Mark Slater with the call. Red hot favourite in 6.
Here on the approach for race 9, the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival 480 British bred. And off, racing to the first turn, 2 and 1 away well with 4, 6, 5, 3, the one out of line into the bend. Greenwell Grace will turn in front, but on the inside, Alinia's debut has come through to challenge and take it up narrowly. Well there on the outside is No Rush. These 3 almost in line past halfway. Little gap back to Bang On Charlie, second last bend, and it's now Greenwell Grace and No Rush who race on together. Alinia's debut drops back, is passed for third by Bang On Charlie, but a good battle up front. Greenwell Grace holding No Rush. Greenwell Grace from 4 beats No Rush in 6 and 3. Bang On Charlie third.
Well done to John Flaherty. Made the trip from his Scottish base down to Wolverhampton. Definitely a great journey going back. You gave Greenwell Grace a good mention, DC, and she's battled hard to win. No Rush kept on battling hard in behind, but never really looked like getting on terms.
Good dog men with good dogs, and they do not travel to make up the numbers. 28.43 on the board in the trial, and that was a little bit of a clue there, Simon, as well, that trial. Still has run a blinder, you know, to be flanked by No Rush going into the third turn. You probably thought, you know, 6 is going to swoop around the outside here and score.
Yeah, we've also mentioned the leaders' debut in 1. Both came for a trial, which is always a clue, and travelling a long way. But 6, unfortunately, got a little bit of a touch on the first bend, which maybe robbed it of a bit, but there's no denying that Greenwell Grace has battled away and chopped the one off at the 3/4 mark, and then it was all on its own from then on.
Thanks, Simon. 4 has beaten 6. We'll confirm that result in due course, but we do owe you a replay from the 8:38 at Hove. Let's have a look at this race now once again, and it was, I think, another blue jacketed winner, David.
Yeah, had the good early, and it just sort of happened in behind it. They seem to all get in each other's way in behind here, Simon.
Yeah, and 2 beat 3 to the bend, and then just gave him a little bit of a nudge at the first bend, and obviously if 3 didn't lead, that was him. He also caught the 5, which was the end of that, and 4 and 1 was slightly credited. It wasn't the worst of trouble in running, but 2's a battling sort, and I think it was always going to be whoever led won, and Cozy Black did the business and ran well in the end.
And winning for Derek Knight and the owner, Mr. Jenkins, in front down the far side. Cozy's back. Ultimately, it was track 4, Caramel's Crisp, who came from out the pack for Tony Taylor. He's had a couple of winners tonight, Tony, but DK on the card and winning the Philip Pasby, or Pass-by, 21st birthday stakes. Pasby. 3-1 Co, second favourite of 3. Trap 4 was 3-1, £14.79. And let's give you that Monmore result as well for the 8:43. 6-1 the winner. Greenwell Grace returned. 4-9 favourite. No Rush was second. 11-2 the third. 12.93. £29 dead. What about the Trap Challenge? 5 wins for Trap 2, leading the way just ahead of 4. 3 wins apiece for 5 and 6, and 1 only with 2 wins. That was a red hot favourite. Nothing for Tina's Trap 3. Time for a break.
Want to build a bet you want? In seconds, you're on. Combine shots, corners, cards and more. Plus with our Bet Builder rackers, combine bet builders across games in football, basketball and NFL, and place popular bet builders in just one tap. Get a bet builder boost every day. Unibet, you're on.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. Every month we have over 20,000 boosts. Every day we power up the odds on hundreds of bets with Bet Boost. We give you the option to increase your winnings with our incredible winnings boost. And just when you think you can't get better odds, we unleash Super Boost. Check out our boosts and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
When you bet fair on racing, you get daily rewards. So any day can be a big deal. On the Betfair Sportsbook, get extra places on horse racing any day this week. Daily rewards with Betfair.
Welcome back to RPGTV, and that's the presentation from our previous race at Hove. Happy connections there, and a happy 21st. You can see Philip there, cosy, back doing the business. No sign of DK, Derek Knight, but happy connections nevertheless. Well done to them. Right, our next race will be back at the Sussex venue, the 8:54 race 10. Let's bring in Simon Harris. You've got a very competitive sprint here. D4 the grey. We've got 11 to 4 joint favourites of 2 and the 3, and then co-second favourites of 3. Unravel that, Mr. Harris.
Yeah, I've gone for trap 6 Skillful Rebel. A couple of wins in D4s already. Goes up to D3, seems to struggle and then drops back down. It's only, well, it is turn 2 now. September 21, but you'd think it can develop a little bit more than what we've seen. So I think it's a bit of a standing dish in D4s. I think 3 will lead Gilo Saffron, but tends to get picked up when it does lead. 4 is an old timer, more tuned to standard distance, but could figure. But I am with trap 6 Skillful Rebel.
Trap 6 and Skillful Rebel for Stripes and Nora Mack. That's a selection of Simon Harris. And just to say, that was the Jenkins family, of course, of Cozy's back with the Derek Knight trained runner. We've got more presentations for you tonight. There's trophies aplenty going on there. And this is the presentation for the 8:43, which was won by Trap 4, Greenwell Grace. And there's John Flaherty with the winner. Daughter of Droopy Sydney is doing the business at odds of 6 to 1. And it is
nice pitch, that.
Mr. Innes and John Flaherty, the owners of Greenwell Grace. They have pretty good greyhounds, and I think, as you say, good dog men with good greyhounds can always be a good mix, and that was the case with Greenwell Grace.
They don't travel to make up the numbers. I know that much.
They don't, and they've got a good price for their money as well. Right, the 8:54 at Hove be our next race. Simon's already gone with trap 6. I'm going to agree. I think that 6 takes the beating. Who are you with, Dave?
Well, I liked 6 in the place market. The price has absolutely collapsed, fallen through the floor. Yasu Nan, I'm not sure she's the most straightforward, but I thought she would lead down one on the inside and go close. So yeah, she's hovering around even money. That would be the play really on Betfair. You can do a top 2 finish. I think Yasu Nan will be there or thereabouts. Sean West enjoying the racing this evening. However, the Void race, in my opinion, should have stood as a distraction. Similar, if a dog falls at the first bend, it's distracted those dogs behind it. We're in danger of going down the dreaded VAR route. It's a race, and if there's a have a look dog in a race, it's potential distraction for the impeded dogs. Just thought I would have my say. but the decision has been made rightly or wrongly. It's been declared void, but I don't think it should have been. Oh, and I didn't backtrack one. Keep up the good work. Keep promoting the best sport in the world. Regards, Sean.
Yeah, interesting, Sean, and it's a great email, and absolutely we take your point on board. I think had it happened later in the race, Simon, where there could have been and maybe would have been a clear-cut winner, then the result would have been declared, wouldn't it?
You can declare a part result. So let's say there's 4 or 5 dogs involved, but the winner was obviously 5 or 6 lengths in front coming up the home straight. You declare the winner and all the other bets are void. That was brought in because of the spate of race wrecking that happened in the late 60s and 70s, because obviously they couldn't be certain, even if they did jump on the track or do whatever, that the result would still declare a winner.
And that's right. We remember the teddy bears being thrown on the track and people jumping on the track and all that sort of skullduggery. And thankfully the rules were changed that would enable racing managers to declare a part result to prevent those who wanted to cause havoc and cause races to be voided. So they saved a few quid. They weren't going to get away with it. And that was I have to say, a pretty good rule change, but slightly different in this situation because trap 3, given that the seagull was directly, well, I mean, quite bizarrely, he was the only one who ever noticed it seemed. I don't know if it says more about trap 3 or those against him or her, but anyway, right, that was a few minutes ago. It's been tweeted and certainly, I'm not quite saying it will go viral, but it's already caused quite a stir on social media as Seagull Gate at Hove tonight. They're behind the boxes for the 8:54. Keep your emails and your tweets coming in. Yasu Nan given a good word here by Dave. He's with George Andreas. He's one of 2 runners for George, Skillful Rebel for myself and Simon.
Shout out to Neil Ratcliffe watching on YouTube tonight, enjoying the show. Giving a shout out to us. Brilliant.
Is every RPGTV show on
No,
YouTube?
just when there's good racing on, we chuck it on YouTube for people to enjoy. And if you miss the show, you can obviously go back and watch it as well because the programme will be stored on the YouTube channel.
Okay, great stuff. Right, 8:54 at Hove, flag about to be waved. Let's go to Patrick.
Race number 10 then, 285 metres. And they're off then, and quite an even break here, though. 3 shows in front, but 1 pacing up on the inside. Not too much room there for trap 2. 3 just squeezed out of the wreck in there. 6 on the outside now has the call, but narrowly over trap 1. 5 staying on, but up towards the line. It's going to be the stripes here. It's Skillful Rebel for Nora.
It's another winner for Nora. It's another trap 6 as well. Who would have believed it? Skillful Rebel, though, selected by myself and Simon, 17-12. A battling performance, Simon, from Stripes here and trained by Nora, of course, for many years. One of your trainers at Wimbledon.
Yeah, well, it's all been sort of ex-GRA trainers, Tony Taylor, Seamus and Nora all having winners. But it was a very level break and it could have gone either way here. And fortunately, there was no trouble going into the bend. Everything held the pitch. And 6, we highlighted the fact that it was drawn in 6 would be an advantage. And it does seem to be very reliable in these D4s. It struggles a little bit when it goes up a grade, but who knows, it may come on from this and... one when it's dropped into D4, one to certainly respect.
Thank you, Simon. 6-1-5 is how they have finished in this 8:54. You can see the betting on screen for our next race, the 9:02 at Monmore. We've got another sweepstakes final. This is a top grade event, so let's give you an early VT. It's Aero Aaron, versatile sort of Richie Taberner. Bring you in, Dave, for this. September the 2nd. This was in the heats last week, coming through well out of the blue jacket, beating Beatty's Diva.
Yeah, this is a good run, this Aero Aaron, and been very, very popular throughout the day. We've had a couple of people contact us saying it's their nap of the night as well, so unsurprisingly, chalked up a short price here for Richie Taberner and the Aero Racing Syndicate. I thought this was really gutsy and game effort. Black Jacket doing some good late work as well. Beatty's Diva, who I thought could run some sort of a race again here. Now, wasn't convinced that Aero Aaron would lead down Shankall James on the inside. I think 1 will lead round along with 6 Milton Bow, and it could get messy. So I'm going to take a chance on Beatty's Diva, but Aero Aaron clear claims, and with a clear run, I think will win.
Okay, Beatty's Diva getting a good word from DC, but he's suggesting that Aero Aaron, all things being equal, should win. I agree. It was come to be the fastest heat success. Who do you fancy, Simon?
Yeah, well, it is my nap, Hobbsy. So 38-11 winning the heats, and as we saw with Sean's fiddle earlier, they sort of they're nice, these competitions, 2 heats in the final, because now he's running again without penalty. He's got the runner in 3 that's had 7 runs over 6:30 and yet to break a duck. So I don't think that'll trouble it. And trap 4 has been running in Beatty's Diva with good company. This probably is an easier chance and could, with a run, challenge 2. But as you saw there in the VT2, it didn't get it all the way around the first bend, and it was quite clever and got in the pitch, and it went well away when it got in front, and I don't see any reason that you won't get repeated that again tonight.
Thanks, Simon. Okay, good luck with your nap selection. Aero Aaron running out of trap 2. I do fancy the Richie Taberner's Greyhound's going to take the world of beating, as the betting suggests as well. 4 to 7 currently trading. We will show you a presentation of the 854 at Hove in due course, which was won by trap 6 Skillful Rebel. Emails, Dave.
Yeah, this one's from Mickey Freeman. Don't know if you already do this, but you should have a vote from the viewers for the best presenter every year, and one for the best tipper that the public think is deserving some sort of trophy. Maybe £1,000 sponsored by a bookie. Great show as always. Hope the dogs come home safe. Mickey with an interesting one there.
Jason Barrett, best presenter, and Carn Hughes, runaway tipping leader. I think they get the prizes. Job done. I've sorted it, Mickey, for you. Sorted it.
Keith in Ireland, can I say well done to all the tracks, not only in England, but here in Ireland, with coping with the severe temperatures this time of year. For the welfare of the sport, Limerick and Crayford losing full cards on Thursday, Swindon after 3 races, and Romford earlier cancelling the remainder of their meeting. But nice to see the evening fair has gone ahead. Pity about Oxford this afternoon, had some great racing planned. Also, can I say well done to Romford on Thursday, dedicating a race to Richard Hartness's late mum, Margaret. I'm glad it was an A1, and even nicer it was Ian Meek there to commentate on it. First class from the track yet again, from Keith.
100%, and excellent touching tribute from Romford, and I think great comfort for the family of Margaret Hartness, mother of our own Richard.
Steve Evans, Cachise, Dave. Our fella has been in 4 Cat 1 finals, the Dundalk International, and yet in your eyes he's capable, and he wouldn't lead Ballymac John in a 4-ben race. Well, we led Clona Duke, Romeo Hanzo, Mystical Mario in the Derby, and Brookside Richie at Dundalk, and he's just done 37.52. It's about time you gave him some credit, Steve Evans. Not happy because I said Ballymac John might hold up Cachise early on. I don't know, they must think I don't like the dog, because I saw Richard and Jackie at Toaster during the Derby, and they pulled me up because I didn't mention Cachise going through a race as well. Listen, we sat here and said the dog finished 3rd in the Derby, 3rd in the Summer Stayers. I said how classy he was to brush aside Ballymac John in the 3rd bit. I'm not sure what you want, Steve, to be honest, but if you're asking me if I still think Ballymac John could hold Cachise in a 4-ben race, I'm going to say yeah. But I get asked to give an opinion, and there it is. But I'm certainly not running down the dog. But well done, anyway. Tonight.
He's a class act, is Cachise, a very fast time, as well as Churchill Sid winning at Perry Bar in his heat of the MLAM Birmingham Cups. And good night for Richard Reese's Kellel. Cheers to Steve, and absolutely credit to Cachise, no doubt about that. Right, they're behind the boxes for the 9:02.
One final email, sorry, Gary Smith, the Lardy-Dar, 27.78. Wow. Oh my God. There you go.
Maybe what might have been, but
some run that.
In the Time Juvenile Derby, there's perhaps compensation after his Irish Derby semi-final exit for Dilardida. Sensational there tonight in the second round. Right, the 902 at Monmore, behind the boxes. In fact, locked and loaded for this S1. It's another Kennel Sweepstake final.
It is the 902 race 10, the Lawrence Jones Memorial S1 Kennel Sweepstake final. Racing and away to a good level break going into the first of 6 bends. On the outside, Milton Bow leads from Puma Kelly, and Aero Aaron's there on the inside. In fourth is Shankol James, and then follows Vive La Viva, and on the outside, Beat Is Diva. Good battle up front into the third bend. Milton Bow on the outside of Aero Aaron, but it's Aero Aaron who makes the move and goes on down the back straight and quickly puts daylight between himself and the pack. Aero Aaron by 5 lengths from Milton Bow, who's being pressed for second, with right in behind Puma Kelly. Running on late, Beat Is Diva, but it's surely only for second spot as Aero Aaron powers clear to take this in great style. Just up for second was 4 Beat Is Diva, and also running on in third, Vive La Vive.
Brilliant success from Aero Aaron. Simon's nap landed. Well done to Stuart Forsdyke, the Aero Racing Syndicate, Richie Taberner as well. Pretty straightforward in the end, Simon. Easiest winner of the night potentially.
Yeah, he didn't get that sort of start in the heat. He got sort of boxed in at the first bend, and it was only when he kicked off from the second bend in the heat that he went away. But he got a much better run. They are risky races, these 6:30 at Monmore, because you're very much straight into the first bend. But the sixth runner challenged him well to there. But once he got a bit of daylight there was only going to be one winner. And you know, it was there for him to win, and he's done the business, and he's won quite considerably, probably about 8 lengths in the end, I would think.
Yeah, it was excellent effort from Aero Aaron, a grand servant, 6 wins from 24 starts. Versatile, progressive is Aero Aaron, ran in the Derby. Of course, well done to Richie and all the crew. A runaway success, well done to Simon Harris, our remote guest. His nap landed pretty tight for second in the end between trap 3 Viva La Verve and trap 4 Beat Is Diva.
Sounded like they had it on as well. The cheers went up.
They did on the terraces there at the Wolverhampton venue, so well done to them. Let's give you that confirmed result. 4-9 in the end. Aero Aaron beaten trap 4, 11-2. Trap 3 was third at 14-1. 2-4-3. Good news if you're on the blue jacket in the trap challenge. 2 clear. That was DC's selection. Well done to Aero Aaron. 5 more races to go. Time for a break.
At William Hill, we get the value of football, the value of the players, the value of the win.
It's never going to happen. You need more goals.
The value of your bet. This season, we're giving you our best value ever with William Hill's Epic Value. So, whether it's Acca Freedom, 3 or 4, or Epic Odds, we've got you covered. Real value, week in, week out.
It's epic!
It's who you play with. William Hill.
I can look at 12 horses and the form all at once. Come on. The app is my paddock.
Once the race starts, we don't bother with cheers in our house.
When the race is on, I try to remain calm. If it's possible to love a 4-legged beast and a wee tiny man sitting on top of it, then I love you!
Boost your racing odds at ladbrokes.com.
Betfred presents. Check out our exclusive offers every day. Play in-store and online with Betfred.
Welcome back to RPGTV. I think we've got another presentation coming up. It looks like quite a few people involved as well. This must be for Aero Aaron. I can see Richie there, but I can't see Stuart there. But well done to Aero Aaron. Big support at Monmore. Well done to all concerned. Winning the Kennel Sweepstake final in good style. Absolutely ran amok, and a fantastic trophy to boot as well. It's a very good festival. The Lawrence Jones Memorial always comes up trumps year in, year out. Just a couple of weeks after the Gold Cup and the Summer Stayers Classic, top class racing.
Used to be a bags meeting, didn't it? If I remember rightly.
You're probably right. I think it was.
I'm sure it was an afternoon.
2 years. Yeah. Afternoon meeting.
Heats and finals. There was like a 416. 480.
416, you don't see the 416 anymore, do you? 912 at Hove will be our next race. Well done. If you found Aero Aaron, probably one of the multiples as well. I want to say well done to Pat Curtin, Monmore trainer. So there is a link, 22-1, Millridge Tanich winning its heat of the St Ledger tonight. Awesome stuff. That ran well in the select stayers at Nottingham. Great work.
And he's a happy hammer as well.
Is he a happy hammer as well?
He is.
Oh, he's a happy hammer as well. Thanks for that, Dave. Right, Kate Almighty and Melbury Curley in trap 4, vying for favouritism here. This is your lay, Punk Rock Ivy. You're taking the 2 on.
Yeah, maybe foolish. I don't know. 19 weeks out of season. I think she's running well.
September the 2nd here?
I'm not convinced that she is straightforward. I've seen her get to the front a couple of times. I mean, she had to battle really hard on the 18th of August to get to the front, and she went down 3/4. To me, she seemed quite content to just get to the front and not really get on with it, which I think opening show 11:08. I mean, you should be able to lay that, I reckon, rather than the Betfair SP of 3.65. She's drifting to the sort of price that she should be. It's a very competitive race. She's got a chance, but I'm not convinced she's straightforward, so that's enough for me to sit the other side of the fence.
I understand. Would you go for anything else in the race?
Yeah, I mean, Kate Almighty's a strong runner. If the race slows up, would be the one to pick up the pieces, so I'll go with 1. But you know, Punk Rock Ivy could definitely frame up here. You know, I wouldn't put anyone off sort of having the field to beat 2 and see if you could get a result.
Fair enough. Simon, how'd you see it?
Sorry, Dave, I'm going for Punk Rock Ivy. I think it finished ahead of Kate Almighty last time. I think it's capable of a better start here. It is erratic at the start. I think if she starts, you will see her true running. 1 is always expensive to follow. He does win races, but it's expensive to follow. And I just think 2 will lead here, and that'll do for me.
Okay. Punk Rock Ivy, selection of Simon and myself. Going to go with the ground trained by Stuart Maplesden and Matt Cristello. Kate Almighty though. Dave's selection, his lay runs out of trap 2. Just to say, 615 Skillful Rebels SP in the 854 at Hove race 10 was 11-4, 3-1 the second, 6-1 the third, 13.05 and 46.36. Behind the boxes, emails, DC?
Dennis Hodgkins says, enjoying a mix of quality racing tonight. Must admit, dropping into the bar time to time for the coverage. Mr. Holland at it again. 42.98 for the 710. I think this one went faster than the whole of 2022, namely Havana Lover. I think the Irish-based trainers are really trying to win it. There's a shock. Regards, Dennis Hodgkins.
Thank you, Dennis. And absolutely Irish having a field day at Perry Bar. Swift Iconic beat Knockduff Esky in the first heat of the second round of the Yarmouth Derby. Brown Eyed Boy at 10-1 beat Albert's Legacy in the second heat. Keep your notes coming in. We're on tonight on Sporty Stuff TV through to just after the 9:47 at Monmore. That's the last race. And it's the darts to follow at 10 o'clock. Links Maverick saving the best for last, potentially. Tom Hilbron's awesome 3-time Cat 1 winner running in trap 1 in the 9:47. They are, I was going to say, locked and loaded for the 9:12 at Hove, and they are now flag about to be waved. This is A8 the grade, 500 metres the trip. Favourite running out of trap 1. Good luck with how you see it. It is that man, Patrick Kelly, with the call.
Race number 11. And they're on their way. A slow start for Melbury Curly in trap 4. 3 leads them up. It's Rockman Oscar who goes running front here. Moving off there, leaving a gaping hole for trap 2 to slide through. But they're matching strides, this pair. They're followed by 6, then comes 4. 1 is the back mark of the 5 runners with 2 bends to go. And 3 just causing a bit of havoc there behind. Trap 2 and 4 collided. Trap 1 now has emerged as the biggest danger. Kate Almighty, who's absolutely flying in the later stages, winning, going away by around the length and a half, 2 lengths. 1 beats 3.
Tony Taylor, third winner of the evening for Tony Taylor, and this one, Kate Almighty, owned by Messrs Crockford, Miss Turk and Mr Whelan. Lots of trouble at the last bend, Dave. Your lay of the day, Punk Rock Ivy, you know, suggestions that did she wanted enough going down the fast side, but
yeah,
then
listen,
there was all sorts of problems.
I get myself into all sorts of trouble questioning the attitude of some dogs, but I think she's got upsides down the back, Simon, and he's happy to just bowl along. You can see the floppy ears, that's always a bit of a sign as well. And then she found trouble at the third turn.
Yeah, the trouble at the third turn wasn't her fault, but certainly I was thinking, I hope I'm right and Dave's wrong, because the position it got itself in, if I'm right, it's gone ahead and it's clearly won that race, but it was happy to just make pace with 3, and the fact that then 4 was flying and caught the back of it just left acres of space for Kate Almighty, who can win on a day, but normally is expensive to follow. But Tony Taylor's having a good night at the moment.
Yeah, I think to be fair to her, she's coming up the grades quite nicely. 3 wins from 8 starts, up from A11 now into A7, no doubt about that. The 9.18 at Monmore, we're sprinting, and I say we're sprinting, top-class sprinters now on show, like the Hobbs Knight, Gougain Jet, the GBGB Sprinter of the Year, Dove Gaster. It's a crackerjack of a sprint, but we've still got a red-hot favourite. I think that just underlines what a star of the 2 bends scene Gougain Jet is, Dave, and we're going to show you him winning at pretty much his favourite track, and that's here at Monmore, and this was at July the 29th, running out of the Black Jacket.
Yeah, he's right up there, Simon, isn't he? He's one of the top 2 bend dogs in the country.
Yeah, suddenly one appears and seems to dominate. We've seen them over the years, even, Ravage Again, Ningbo Jack, and, so many. But once sprinters seem to hit form and take, well, we see it with stayers as well, but, the dog is absolutely bang on. We know he doesn't like Toaster and probably won't see him there again. He certainly likes Monmore. 5, big respect to 5, and Hope's Knight also got a chance, but 4 certainly does it right. Can't see getting beat.
So we're all with trap 4. You've got a. I know Dove Gaster is a.
Yeah, I mean,
can run.
Thankfully, my life doesn't depend on it. But if it did, you'd go with Gougain Jet, even at 2 on. But yeah, I'll go with 5 for the cast here, because I think the dog's a serious dog. I saw him trial at Toaster. I think it was semi-final night of the Derby. And the dog did some sensational trial. I think he'd done, what did he do, 15.69 or something like that. Just something crazy. And Tom was like, I hope he gets in next week. I said, geez, like he'd be one of the favourites given what he did. And he popped out and won on Derby final night as well. So I think he's the real deal. He's not just travelling down with the Kennel Star Lynx Maverick, let's put it that way. He's a big player here. And double figure prices about him on Betfair are just plain wrong. I mean, it's going to be 4 to beat 5 for me, but there's plenty of juice in that price about 5.
He was brilliant, wasn't he, on Derby final night? Dove Gaster, he runs out of trap 5 here, so good luck with Dove Gaster if you're back in trap 5. Sid with Gougain Jet running out of 4. Hope's Knight in trap 1 for Nathan Hunt and the Jewels. These are 3 that are pretty much dominating the market. The likes of Letham's Buick and Racket Hall all count at different speed. They're going to be up against it, but they're playing their part in a red-hot sprint race. It should be understood, I think, that they might just be up against it. Hopes Night, though, a little bit of support into 9-4, but Gougain Jet's doing nothing wrong. You've kept an eye on Perry Barr. The headline would be the fact that Space Jet is out of the St Ledger, looking to create history. It's not going to happen for her.
Yep.
Havana Lover
got beat.
Got beat. Qualified?
I can't remember, obviously. Got beat. Havana Lover did.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm in awe of my favourite dog, and I think the fastest dog in the UK, Kulevani Shadow, is just as he should. I think he was a silly price, but it's just absolute. I think he nearly lapped him at Yarmouth. That was absolutely incredible. Just he did it quite well at the boxes, and yeah, I've just tweeted maybe another track record. Just absolutely sensational. Just a joy to watch, and I'm convinced if you put a ray or some kind of speed gun like the police show, Simon, this is the dog that would do the fastest or the biggest number. In terms of absolute speed, I think he's the fastest dog in the country.
Yeah, there's always been an argument to how fast does the greyhound go, and is it something like 38 miles an hour at the peak? And you know, we've got technology. It'd be quite interesting to have that as just a guy going to the bend. Like you say, a speed camera recording the speeds. They do it with tennis, with the serves. They do it with football now with the speed of a free kick, and you know, it'd just be a bit of a novelty. And occasionally the big competitions, just can we work out how fast a dog is going in a straight line to the bend?
He's quite extraordinary, that dog, and for some reason, and I know that he was unlucky in last year's final in many ways, but he seems to run, if he gets it right at Yarmouth, he runs that track incredibly well. His pace from 2 to 3 is just out of this world, and they absolutely love him at Yarmouth, and the fact that he's going to line up now in the semi-finals next week is a great boost to the competition.
You didn't put him in the select stakes?
No. The dog he would have taken out would have been Clona Duke, which I think,
so be it,
would have been a bit of a travesty for the greyhound who was a track record holder at Toaster. So no, I mean, I think it was proven to be a great decision, a very hard decision as well, because I think JK put it right. You feel that with Kulevani Shadow, he wouldn't have won the select stakes, but he would have had a say in it, and I don't know whether that's good enough reason for him to be in there. I don't remember a select stakes as good as that. It was a phenomenal lineup, and well done.
How often do the Irish come over for it?
Exactly. So that was, very good to see.
Obviously. He should have been in.
You had an opportunity to vote.
Here
we go.
I didn't.
The Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival 264. And they're racing. Gougain Jet's away well. Gougain Jet leads early from Hopes Night and Dovegaster. Then there's a 2-length break back to different speed into the final turn. Gougain Jet on top here. 3-4 lengths clear. Dovegaster in pursuit in second. Finishing well, Letham's Buick, but it goes the way of 4. Gougain Jet, 5 Dovegaster second. 1 Hopes Night may have just held Letham's Buick for third.
Awesome performance. Gougain Jet absolutely runs amok. Not for the first time at Monmore. This was a cracking effort, Simon, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it has to be remembered, you've seen good dogs behind. They've all had a clear run there. There's nothing, I don't think, can make excuses to say, oh, I didn't get a clear run. One maybe slightly the second end, but nothing much. But it's demoralised a good field. And it just loves Monmore. You'd like to know what it is about Monmore. I mean, it runs well with a lot of tracks, but it just maybe it's the hair, the tracks, the whatever. But that'll be some time because they're good dogs behind.
And they were, and it was a commendable effort, wasn't it, from Dovegaster as well. Hopes Night in third, 4-5-1. The betting suggests that probably would be the forecast or the tri-cast, maybe the other way round, but 4-5-1 is how they have finished for that 9-18 at Monmore, the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival 264. With time for a break? No break. Okay. Emails time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to read this one out because poor old Adrian, evening, waiting on Punk Rock Ivy for my Yankee. That was sent at 9:10, so unfortunately. Well, hopefully you got 3 out of 3 and you filled up a Trixie there, Adrian. So we go again tomorrow.
Yeah, it was Dave's lay, did tell you.
That's
Which
it.
one?
I've read them all.
Oh, right. I thought we've had Hodgkins email. Right, our next race will be the 9:28. It is the lucky last at Hove. Let's have a look at the betting for this race. We've got Bama Butler running out of trap 4. Tony Taylor, that man Tony Taylor, 3 winners tonight. Big night there at Hove. Lots of sponsored races. And his kennel doing great guns. I think the 4 wins this, Simon, with that burst of early pace. Do you?
I respect it, but I've gone for trap 2, Kilkenny Millie. Started to show true form prior to going in season. Started to look like it could be quite a nice sort. The season date was the 23rd of April, so it's well out. That was A5. It's now over 16 weeks out. It's had 4 sprints back, winning 2 of them, 16:49. Step back up now to 500 metres. I think it can lead here. I think it was starting to come to hand before season, and I think it'll be one to follow.
Okay, then trap 2, Kilkenny Millie in the lucky last, the vote for Simon. And with the 4, Dave, who are you with?
I think 2 will lead, and the only dog I'm scared of is Punk Rock Warrior. I think 2 will lead down. If 3 turns handy, it'll be race on, but I'm going to go with Kilkenny Millie to make all, and let's hope that Blink and You Miss It and Bama Butler sort of turn second and third dog and can prove to be the proverbial goalkeepers, which we sort of saw in the last race, didn't we? Dog off the front, or the race before the last 4 Ben race, dog off the front and trouble in behind. So yeah, I think it'd be a case of catch me if you can, and the only one that can would be Punk Rock Warrior. So maybe play 2 and have a saviour 3 to beat 2.
Okay, trap 2 then for both Simon and Dave. Just to say that 9:12, race 11, Kate Almighty, 6-4 favourite. Returns 7-1 the second, and it was a 14-19 forecast for that 5-runner race. And if you backed Gougain Jet, I think it was a 4-5-1 finish. We're going to confirm that in due course to boot. Keep those notes coming in. We're into the last half an hour of the programme this evening. Plenty of racing going on. You can see the 9:18 at Monmore, 4-9, the favourite return. Trap 5 was second, 11-2. Trap 1, 11-4, 5.17 and £7.14. Not too sure what the situation with the draws for the Perry Bar and Yards. Probably will be Monday, but if you have had anti-post bets in there, 1 or 2 shots, I think you back the Irish Greyhounds at Perry Bar, you're in Clover, and if you backed Coulavani Shadow at Yarmouth, we know you're in Clover as well. Right, there's one more heat, I understand, to come of the Yarmouth race to come. I think it's pretty much done and dusted at Perry Bar.
No, St Ledger heat to come.
Have we got one more to go? Who's in that one?
Yeah, Droopy's Clue.
Droopy's Clue for Seamus Cahill, the Hove trainer. So there is a link there. Fantastic performance in the Summer Classic behind From Post to Pillar and Locking to Dominate. It's not an easy race. I think he got Coonough Crow on its outside. Yeah, Ballyhimmock Mel, Nottingham Raider, who's got speed, and Lively Lauren up the inside. So yeah, a good race. Good race. This money comes for this Punk Rock Warrior in a big way. They must fancy that they can fetch in the leaders here. Strong tracker, Punk Rock Warrior. So yeah, we'll certainly be finishing best. Okay, good luck with Punk Rock Warrior if you're joining the support for the Greyhound in the white jacket for Stuart Mapleston. Aero Aaron, I'm hearing 37.88, which is a very good run from Richie Taberner's Greyhound. He's had a pretty good night, £1,000 per race at Monmore tonight. They've done a terrific job there for the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival as well. What's the most eye-catching performance of the night for you? Probably Simon. Was your nap winning, Aero Aaron, or have you spotted something else?
Yeah, it's actually like Gougain Jet, because it's almost you set up a dog to fail. He can only win, and that's it. That's what you're supposed to do. If he doesn't win, we all point fingers and saying this, that and the other. So, you often see it with the dog. It should win, it must win, and it does win. And that's it, because it just does what you expect it to do. So it's nice that dogs that you can set your stall by. He beat a good field. They all had a clear run, and it's been a great night for Lawrence Jones. I worked with Lawrence. He was at Bellevue for a long time, but then he came down to Coventry, and he could get a bit serious at times, and he was never afraid to voice an opinion. But you'd always end up, he'd listen to you, and you'd have a laugh and about things, and he always had a good dog, and he enjoyed his time at Coventry.
And I think in many ways, and hats off to the likes of Tony Williamson, Monmore racing manager, and of course the family of the late Lawrence Jones, that this is very much a standing dish in the Monmore schedule. Lots of good prize money up for grabs as well. You can see the quality of greyhound that has been sent there. Given that it's such a busy Saturday with so much racing, good quality Cat 1s at Perry Bar and Yarmouth to boot. So there's been plenty of opportunity to be had, and those trainers and owners have availed themselves.
The best to come. We've still got the best to come.
Still the best to come in Lynx Maverick, a red hot favourite to win the lucky last after the Ladbrokes Gold Cup success. Right, this is the last at Hove. Good luck with how you see it. Simon and Dave with Trap 2. I'm going to go with the 4 flags. Been waiting for the last time. Let's go to Patrick.
All installed then for race number 12, favourite in Trap 3. And they break away on the run to the first corner. Kilkenny Millie, the blue jacket, shows the best pace up to go around the head of affairs. One on the inside gets a smooth run. They're followed by Punk Rock Warrior, the big finisher, in third. Then comes 4 and 5, about 8 lengths covering first and last. Trap 2 going for glory. Kilkenny Millie, the pacemaker of Trap 3, begins to motor now. 1 back in third, but 2 still has a clear lead here. It's Kilkenny Millie, 2.5 lengths clear. 3 running on very strongly now. And activity close home, it's close.
Punk Rock Warrior was the one for money, has struck gold for Stuart Mapleston.
Struck something.
I think he probably deserves that in terms of the kennel success. Those that piled on will not be too perturbed, but they're coming together and almost treading on Kilkenny Millie off that last bend. The big greyhound Punk Rock Warrior. Simon, 35 kilos of him bearing down on Trap 2 Kilkenny Millie. At this stage, Norm Max Ground had done everything right.
Yeah, I really thought we'd found a good winner there, and I was still confident even coming up the home straight, and I think it started to tire a little bit, but obviously 3's come with a flying finish, and we saw what it did. But it's a shame, because I think it's a shame for a dog to do that when it looked like winning, and also it's a shame for 2 who's had any it's just wondering how much actual interference there was, but we'll see as they come round the last bend. But 2 for me look comfortably home and Hoves there, but 3 really does start to motor off the last bend, and possibly 2 was tiring up with its first run over the 500 metres, but 3 quite clearly should have gone past it, and it's aimed at it. Oh yeah, no, it's almost caused it to the 2 to lose. It was lucky that 2 didn't get knocked over, actually.
Nutted him in the lucky, close home. Trap 3 though, Punk Rock Warrior has edged out Kilkenny Millie. It looks as though a 3-2 finish, only just in the end. The 9:32 at Monmore. We are pretty much going to be off very shortly there. That was a lucky last. Thank you to Patrick. We'll give you the SPs in due course, but it's the 9:32, the penultimate race at Monmore, the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival. Let's get into this. Is it all about Ballymac Archer, Dave?
Tricky little race, this one. We're going to have a look at Ballymac Archer. This was last time up. This was a good effort. Last time up at Monmore at least. Remember, we're over the 684 here, longer run to the corner than the 630 what we've seen already, and he's a tricky dog to place, but he's got so much ability. Son of Old Chury, so he does stay, but he's not going to want to go much further than this, and he's not the brightest at the boxes, but I do think when he puts it together, he's top class, Ballymac Archer, and I just think the 7:10 at Perry Bar was probably just a bit beyond him, which is why he's ended up here than in the St Ledger. He's a worthy favourite. He's getting a bit skinny for my liking, and I think, is he sure late?
It is, yeah.
And I said at the top of the show that odds against is probably the wrong side of either money, Ballymac Archer. I think Ravenswell Bob's an interesting runner on the inside. He sort of got a fast start in him. He probably liked the long run to the corner, got plenty of speed. Be looking to cut loose, and I'm not surprised to see a little bit of money around 10, 8, 7, 6. All things being equal, 4 will win, but I'd probably lay rather than play, and yeah, I'd probably throw a couple of quid on Ravenswell Bob and hope you get a fast start.
Yeah, good luck to Mark Williams and the Doc, Simon Gilson, top boys, into 7-1. Hope they get a good run with Ravenswell Bob. I think they did all right with Goldie's Perriman qualifying there into the semi-finals of the Birmingham Cup, just narrowly edged out by Ozark in the Laurels, cracking dog as well. Gougain Jet, 15.21. I mean, another electrifying run at Monmore from Mark Wallace's Sprinter. For Messrs Curtis, Johnson and Oliver, I think he's done 15.11 and 15.07, so, you know, not as quick as that, but it was still a phenomenal effort, wasn't it, from Gougain Jet. Right, I'm going to go with Untold Rupee, as DC says. I had to take one on here. I thought I'd just take one at a short price. And look, fair enough shout behind Ballymac Taylor. And that form has been frank. Ballymac Taylor winning her heat of the St Ledger tonight. Prem Greyhound Racing, St Ledger, Ballymac Archer finished behind Ballymac Taylor, as you just saw there. This, you know, not suggesting that Ballymac Archer can't win. Of course it can. I'm told Rupee, though, in Trap 3 has got some pace for Carol Weather. And I just thought Slapdash Tommy as well might just make things a little bit tricky for Ballymac Archer, but with a clear run. The Ballymacs are absolutely flying at the moment, aren't they? Just have a look at the results from Perry Bar tonight. 8-13. They're calling about Ballymac Archer. Now, are we done and dusted with our emails on Super Saturday? Things are looking a little bit rosier in France, thankfully.
One more. Oh, I've started saying here. Select Stakes. Here we go. Hi, guys. Shadow, put simply, should have been in Select Stakes instead of Candling Monsoon. I know he was unbeaten during the Sussex Cup. Before that, he'd done very little. I think Shadow fell victim to recent success memory. If Shadow just won the Winter Derby before entries for the Select Stakes, he definitely would have been in. My opinion, of course, I've doubted the dog before, but he is fast in one-off races like that. He can get it right and be electric. Yeah, there should be more. There's only one Select Stakes. We could have sort of alternatives to that throughout the year, couldn't we?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, get the prize money put up, and absolutely.
That's the issue, isn't it? Yeah. Pulling, you know, top class dogs out of competitions and it being on the radar. The prize money's got to be good.
There's an Irish Select Stakes, which again went pretty well. It was also won by Clona Duke, so that was a sensational double across both sides of the Irish Sea. Sign It Goofy, I'm hearing, won the last one, and again that form has been franked with the East Anglian Derby Challenge. Shadow beating Sign It Goofy.
Droopy's Clue won, but I didn't see it.
Droopy's Clue won the lucky last. Well done to Seamus and the crew. Thoroughly deserved. He's an absolute star as well. Right, flag's been waved. Good luck. 685 metres. Race 12 at Monmore.
9:32, the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival. 684. 6 bends this time. And they race away. Slow start from Ballymac Archer, dwelt in the traps, fast away. Winterfield Mary to go into the first bend in front, followed round by Ravenswell Bob, and then back in third is Romeo Walcott, just being passed by Slapdash Tommy. Ballymac Archer now on the move after a slow start, and Untold Rupee towards the rear. Into the third bend, still Winterfield Mary, taken on the inside by Ravenswell Bob, a length between them. Ballymac Archer is closing in fast in third. 4 lengths then to the weakling Slapdash Tommy, and down the far side for the final time, Ballymac Archer takes control, goes on by 2 lengths from in second place Winterfield Mary, back in third Ravenswell Bob. They head for the line. It's Ballymac Archer maintaining a 2-length lead and goes on to win. 4 goes on to win from 6, so Winterfield Mary in second, and 3 Untold Rupee made late gains for third.
Brilliant performance from Ballymac Archer. Well done to Peter Moult, I think it is, and Barry Draper. I think Rose would have been parading. They'll be delighted with this. Trapped last, finished first, got a nice run through, but nevertheless, oozed class.
Oh, just watch when they straighten up here and they hit the winning line for the first time. The dog just switches, goes through the gears and just takes off. And I mean, they're decent dogs he's in with. They're not, you know, the top class dogs are in the St Ledger, but I mean, you can see why it kind of swerved the St Ledger, because over the 710 at Perry Bar in top class, you break like that, you're going to be in trouble. But this was absolutely sensational, Simon.
Yeah, well, you'd probably... he might have done himself a favour, actually, by missing the break, because it gave him something to run at, and, you know, he seeded wide, but you look at all his comments over the past, he's got every comment going, and you know that he sort of doesn't hold one position, he will go in and out, and, you know, like Space Jet will find a gap, but once he got his momentum going, he sort of wound himself up, and off he went. I'd still would have been... If I'd have lumped on, I would have been panicking at the start, I must admit, but brilliant performance.
All's well that ends well for Ballymac Archer 4-beat 6 and 3 in some style. Time for a break.
The William Hill 5. Top tips for positive play. Don't chase losses.
What are you doing?
Know your limits. Get support if you need it. Take a break. Keep it fun. Find our safer gambling tools online or in shop.
It's the final straight. Your horse is challenging for the lead. Victory is so close you can taste it. This magnificent animal giving everything for his jockey. And in the last strides, your horse is beaten. Fortunately, with Coral, you'll get a free bet up to £10 if your horse finishes within a length of the winner. Available every day of the season. Coral.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. Every month we have over 20,000 boosts. Every day we power up the odds on hundreds of bets with Bet Boost. We give you the option to increase your winnings with our incredible winnings boost. And just when you think you can't get better odds, we unleash Super Boost. Check out our boosts and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Want to build a bet you want? In seconds, you're on. Combine shots, corners, cards, and more. Plus, with our Bet Builder rackers, combine bet builders across games in football, basketball, and NFL. And place popular bet builders in just one tap. Get a bet builder boost every day. Unibet, you're on.
Betfred presents. Check out our exclusive offers every day. Play in-store and online with Betfred.
When you bet fair on racing, you get daily rewards. So any day can be a big deal. On the Betfair Sportsbook, get extra places on horse racing any day this week. Daily rewards with Betfair.
And welcome back to Sporty Stuff TV on this Saturday night. And there's a smiling Rose Draper, and who can blame her? Brilliant effort from Ballymac Archer, winning race 12, the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival 6-8-4 in cracking style. You can see the betting on screen for the 9:47. A 1 to 10 chance. Hobbs' lay of the day, it should have been, but I couldn't do it, could I? Links Maverick, Gold Cup champion. Let's confirm the 9:32 result. 4 to 7 favourite. The winner, 14 to 1 second, 4 to 1, 12-11, 27-45. Let's confirm the Trap Challenge as well. Trap 4 is vacant, so can't win the Trap Challenge at the moment, though can tie. And a Lynx Maverick success, which we assume will happen, albeit they're not machines. We can't be absolutely sure, but likelihood is that Trap 1 wins this one. 2 and 4 will share the Trap Challenge. So let's have a look at tomorrow's headlines today in the RP. Very much about the Bet365 Empress Stakes. Brownie with his shout or suggestion that Crafty should prove too smart for Empress rivals. Irish Oaks champion, trained by Mark Wallace for the MWD partnership. Impressive in the trial stakes last week. Good record in the UK. Looking to enhance that. What else have we got for you? Hollywood Stars for Welch in maiden final. And this is a recap of the action at Romford on Friday. Hollywood Lolita doing the business for the Welsh camp. And finally, tracks hit again by the heat. Oxford cancelled yesterday's afternoon SIS card. I understand Central Park has already gone tomorrow. So watch this space, potentially for other cancellations. It does mean that 2 semi-finals of Sandy Lane Maiden Derby will be run on Monday night and will be live on the show on Monday night. So there's an open race bonus as such there. Right, we're going to show you Lynx Maverick, I presume, without even looking. The 1 to 11 chance that we're going to show you. This is one for the brave, Dave, isn't it? At the Ladbrokes Gold Cup final, and this was absolutely awesome. A top quality field put to the sword.
Yeah, I don't really know what they're doing, but it's just embarrassing, the prices. 10, 11, 11, 12. This dog is about as good as we've got over 4 bends at the moment. He won the Northern Puppy Derby. He went so close to winning the Monmore Premier Ground Racing Puppy Derby, and then he's won the Pall Mall, and this was sensational. A really, really, really good field in the Gold Cup, and he just took them apart. He's a dog with a unique ability to not only explode from the boxes consistently, but he's got brilliant pace to go with it, and it makes him a real imperious opponent. Droopy's by miles, a capable salt, but it's probably going to lever him up the inside, and you just wonder what could possibly hold him up on the run to the turn here. His pace will just take him to the front. And yeah, the big money is lined up on Betfair. Looks like the money buyers are out in force for Lynx Maverick here.
Does he remind you of any particular dog you would have seen in the past? There's one that I'm thinking of, but tomorrow it could be another dog that I would compare Lynx Maverick to. Simon, thoughts? I mean, in terms of, one of the fastest dogs around, as DC says. What do you think of him? 1 to 14.
You just look at him and you can't, he just does it right, and you just want to. It's great. I mean, unfortunately, the people that entered this race wouldn't know who they're in with, and there must have been a big sigh of oh no when they saw he's in there. But I can't see what can beat him, bar misfortune, and he just does it right. And if anybody needs me to tell me what he's done and how good he is, then you've not been watching the sport for the last period of time. Yeah, I mean, there has been some over the times, but it's in the it's always like comparing footballers. It was Stanley Matthews ever as good as David Beckham, or it's different eras, and the Demoulders of the world had some absolutely unbelievable machines that did it week in, week out. But you can only come here tonight and do what I do. I mean, obviously I'm going to select him, and be silly not to, but you'd probably want to passively do a field forecast and hope the biggest price outsider comes second, and you might nick a few bob. But he's a superstar, and we do have quite a few of them at the moment, following him from Space Jet and Gougain Jet, and now him over the standard distance, and they can do all he can do is win this, and everybody goes, oh well, it's Lynx Maverick, that's what he does, but it's a joy to watch.
It is trading at 14s, Dave. Do you want to wrap up the final emails before we?
Well, I was mentioning I'll be in the number 1 fan of Kulavani Shadow, and my view that he's the fastest dog in terms of pure speed in the UK, and the Kulavani man has been on, Mr. Noel Hare himself. Lovely to hear from you. And he says, hi Dave, just heard you talking about Shadow and the speed he shows. Just to clarify your opinion, I have a clock on my straight gallop, and when I started Shadow on the gallop, I couldn't believe any greyhound could go so quick. I also had Gougain Jet around at the same time. So to say I used to look forward to going galloping is an understatement. Two very special greyhounds, and my next crop have big boots to fill.
Yeah, that's brilliant, Noel. Hope you're well, and that's a fantastic note to round off the evening in many ways. So, yeah, Kulavani Shadow versus Lynx Maverick. I'm sure it's going to happen down the line if it hasn't happened before. If memory serves, he wasn't in the Winter Derby final, Lynx Maverick, was he? But no. It was, I think, third in the Puppy Derby behind Brady's Bullet. I think, as Tom Hilbron has said, he's absolutely taken off since.
Good choice not to go to the Derby. I know that much. Yeah. That was a very good choice. Right, final emails from Paul in Newark. He says, thanks for another great evening of greyhound racing, guys. All those behind the scenes as well who vitally make it happen. Good night, all. Paul. Nice one, Paul.
Excellent effort. Right, behind the boxes. This is the finale, race 13 of a superb Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival. 480 dogs, red hot favourite. It's coming to 1 to 10. Lynx Maverick. Let's go to Mark Slater for the final time.
Here on the spin for race 13, it's the Lawrence Jones Memorial Festival. 480 dogs. And they're racing, away they go. Lynx Maverick away well. Brynhild Bocco in pursuit in second. Then follows Slippy Thriller on the inside. Droopy's by a mile. And the back marker, Winterfield Duke. But it's Lynx Maverick who is 4 lengths clear going down the far side and increasing that advantage as they pass halfway. Still in pursuit in second, Brynhild Bocco. The stripes then of Slippy Thriller. Droopy's by a mile and Winterfield Duke. But they're strung out behind our leader, Lynx Maverick. The brilliant Lynx Maverick will win again here at Monmore Green and makes all to land the odds. Goes on to win from Brynhild Bocco, trap 3 in second and 6, Slippy Thriller in third.
Well done to Lynx Maverick, saving the best for last. Phenomenal effort once again from Tom Hilbron, winner of the Gold Cup and the Puppy Derby and the Pall Mall, the Newcastle Puppy Derby, Northern Puppy Derby, and this was electric from the boxes, Dave.
Yeah, you know, we had, I think there was a horse turned over, wasn't there, at 1 to 25 during the week, but there was absolutely no danger here. After 2 strides, they were playing for second. And as I say, Simon, he's a very fast dog with an unnatural ability to consistently explode from the boxes, which just makes him, dare I say it, almost unbeatable.
Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. He's just basically got £1,000 for a solo trial. It's just easy. Suddenly, it's not. He's just in front. He wouldn't have even known there were any other dogs in that race because he was suddenly 2 lengths in front instantly and just powered away. And you know, it's brilliant to see because you know, you just think, you just want to see a good dog like that do it. Obviously you want other dogs to run well, but you know, he's there to, you know, he can't do anything other than that, and it'd be interesting to see what time he's done.
Thank you very much, Simon. DC is a happy man. He's second in the Naps table. He's chasing Calm Down, 136. Well done to Lynx Maverick. Well done to Tom Hilbron, Kevin Hilbron, Trevor Rush and David Wilson. There is the result. 1 to 10 has beaten Trap 3 at 8 to 1, £2.65. Let's confirm the Trap challenge. It is a tie between 2 and 4 with 6 wins apiece. Thank you, Simon, once again stepping into the breach. I know you had 1 or 2 technical issues. Sometimes you did sound like you were out of space as opposed to just outside of Mitcham.
I think it's the heat. It's got to me equipment and myself. I'm off for a beer.
You be careful of your equipment in the heat there, Simon.
Cheers, Opsy. Cheers, Dave.
Take it easy. DC, thank you. Well done. Great tipping tonight once again. And the open race bandwagon continues, weather permitting, at Toaster tomorrow and Henlow.
Yeah, I think I'm going to sleep in the studio. I think the aircon's beautiful in here. I'll probably get a best night's sleep for a while. So, yeah, enjoyed it. Good racing. I mean, we're trying to keep across everything. It's a bit crazy at the moment.
Super Saturday.
That's why we love it.
Exactly, whether it be rugby or it be football, but of course, top-class greyhound racing everywhere both sides of the Irish Sea. Right, so we've got Tanya and Tony, I think, tomorrow, followed by Errol and Joe, and then Rose and Daryl in the evening. That's your Sunday service tomorrow from myself and DC.
Nice one.
We'll see you soon. After, of course, you see the darts at 10 o'clock. Don't forget the arrows.
Racing Post Greyhound Television, brought to you in association with Bet365.com, Betfair, Betfred, Coral, Ladbrokes, Paddy Power, Unibet, and William Hill.